Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? It's me coming back at you again with another live hangout vid. This is Danthemanboxing. I got Charlie Brown on the line with me. This is actually going to be a civil debate between us. No egos, no trying to diss the guy over the other guy over their opinions and facts. It's about a civil debate on who we think will win in the fantasy matchup between Sugar Ray Leonard and Floyd Mayweather Jr. at 147. That's right. This is a debate matchup. This is a debate about a fantasy matchup between Sugar Ray Leonard and Floyd Mayweather Jr. at 147. We're going to state our points. We're going to have our introductions. We're going to have our closing arguments, and just an open discussion, which is going to be very formatted. We decided we don't need moderators for this because Charlie and I respect each other. We respect each other's opinions. We do allow each one of us to get our points across without trying to, be too disruptive. So, we're mature enough to handle this without a moderator. So this is not between egos. This is about, respecting each other's opinions and facts. And we'll let you guys in the comment section decide who you think will win the fantasy matchup based off our arguments between Sugar Ray Leonard and Floyd Mayweather at 147. So with that said, Charlie, are you on, brother?
Yes, I'm there. I'm there, Dan, man. Thank you for having me. And,
yeah, so let's go ahead and let's get this started, brother. So you can go ahead with with your opening. This is an open discussion, so it's not like opening, first round, second round, and rebuttals. This is open discussion. So go ahead, man.
Okay. Well, then I kind of need to ask you before we get it on, right? That are you going to include Ray Leonard's exploits at middleweight, or is it just purely 147?
We're gonna do. We can do purely 147. It's gonna be purely 147.
Okay, so then you can't bring up the Hagler fight then, or
No.
the second Tommy Hearns fight.
I mean, if you want to go through the whole scope of their careers, we can do it as well. It's up to you.
It's up to you, really. it's up to you. I'm okay either way. I'll start with 147, okay. And then if you want, because I know at some point you're going to pull the Tommy Hearns card.
I mean, well, at some point here's the thing. At some point we're going to bring up their other weight classes in their fights because this is their careers we're talking about here, and we can also dive in about their 147 competitive nature. We can dive into that as well. So,
all right,
I mean, it's going to be brought up. We can, I know that. So let's just go ahead and roll.
All right. Oh, we'll start with Floyd. Well, obviously, I believe that he's a better fighter in general at any weight class, and I do think his exploits at 147 eclipse those of Ray Leonard's. I think Leonard, if you really think about it, gosh, I got 2 pages of achievements from Mayweather. I've only got one of Leonard's, and
right.
Other than Benitez, really, Pinillo, Cuvaz, and Randy Shields, and Floyd's dad, he didn't really do anything else other than Duran, and that's it. And Hearns, he didn't really do anything else at 147.
Okay, well, what about Andy Price? Do you know anything about him?
A little bit, but who was he? Could you tell me? Did he have a title?
No, he didn't. But let me tell you something about Andy Price. When they went into that fight, right? Andy Price was supposed to be Ray Leonard's biggest test yet while he was moving up through the ranks at welterweight. Why? Because Andy Price, in his 10th pro fight or 11th pro fight, I think it was 15th pro fight, beat a Hall of Famer called Parmiano. An upset. Nobody thought he could win that fight, and he beat Papleno Cuevas. So he beat 2 world champions and 2 guys who are also Hall of Famers. And he was tested in those 2 fights, and people thought that Ray Leonard was way in over his head on that one, even though he was a bit of a favorite. But at the same time, some people question his handler.
I reject that. No.
I'm saying no. Leonard was a favorite. He was.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Some of his handlers, some people question his handlers for putting him in there in a fight like that against Price at that early stage of his career. They're like, wait a minute, this guy's going to give you. They thought that Leonard wasn't quite ready, even though he was a favorite. So, but what was surprising and what made that fight a little bit significant for Leonard is that Pete Leonard wiped out Andy Price in the first round. Nobody saw that.
I see the fight, but to me, I can't really. He's not somebody. I reckon a lot of the opponents at 147 that Mayweather fought, including the Zab Judas, people like that, would have beaten Andy Price.
Oh no, 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 no! Are you?
Yes. Now, when you say Pepino Cuevas, then
Yeah.
I can roll with you on that.
Okay.
If you'd have said Randy Shields to me, even tough, durable person.
What about Carlos Palomino? He beat him.
No, I mean, yes, yeah, he did, but he only had one name on his record, though.
Yeah, Palomino had two names. He had Antonio Munoz, and he had
Harold Weston, or you probably don't rate him. I would have said he only had one, and that was Harold Weston. That was before.
Oh yeah, Antonio Munoz too. Munoz was a good name as well. Palomino beat him twice, so that was a good name. That was a good name on his record.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, I know that
John Strassi was a good name as well. So yeah, they were pretty good names. Well, here's the thing: they were top contenders. They were top of their division at the time, and Palomino beat those guys. Okay, so those wins with the succession of title defenses got him into the Hall of Fame. So what I'm saying, but you gotta give Price credit for that. You got to give Price credit for that, bro. Now let me ask you this though: are you telling me Carlos Baldomir is better than Andy Price?
No, but
okay, Victor Ortiz better than Carlos Palomino?
Shampa Mitchell.
No, Shampa
Mitchell.
No. Shampa Mitchell.
Oscar De La Hoya. Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you Oscar De La Hoya, but that De La Hoya was past his best. He fought him at 154. All right, that Floyd. But what I'm saying is that Shampa Mitchell, okay, his best win is against over the hill Vince Phillips. All right, that's it. Who else? Okay, he got steamrolled by Costa Zoo twice.
Didn't he beat Moses? He beat Moses Pedraza early on in his career. He was a good, durable opponent. If you're going to bring up the opponents that you just brought up, then I can bring up them.
Who beat Pedraza? Who beat Pedraza?
Shampa Mitchell.
No, he didn't. He never fought him.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. He never fought Pedraza.
Go and do your research, man. Yes,
what year? What year would he fight Pedraza?
Yes, he did. I can't remember, but it was before he fought Mayweather.
No, he never fought Pedraza. I'm telling you, I know Shampa Mitchell's career.
All right. You go and look at it. All right.
But anyway, I'm looking at it. He has not fought him. I remember it. He never fought him.
Yes, he did. Anyway, I'm not gonna argue that.
Okay,
right?
It's all good, brother.
We got Zab Super Judo, of course, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Because really, you're the person that's supposed to defend Leonard's record, so I'm not going to do your work for you. Right? I would say he only, for me personally, he only had Wilfred Benitez, and I may argue Armando Muniz. But he had already 13 losses on his record before he fought Leonard.
Okay.
I know he had mixed it with some good opposition.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Who else is there really? Before he fought on route to beating Duran, you break it down. Other than Benitez, who did he fight? He fought Armando Muniz.
Okay.
The Pepino Cuevas, who we already said. Okay. And I said a very kind of washed up Randy Shields, who mixed it with Benitez. Okay. I think Benitez had beaten out of most of the fight out of Randy Shields. And then you've got his pups.
Floyd Sr.
Yeah.
Okay, who was very good, who taught Floyd Jr. that style. Okay. And
Ray Leonard knocked him out. 10 rounder as well. Yeah. Arguably the big favorite in that fight.
Yeah, what about Davey Boy Green? He was a damn good welterweight at his time. What about him?
Nah, man. I mean, I'm from the UK, man. I don't bring that guy. That guy already had 2 losses on his record when he fought.
Don't matter. Davey Boy Green was a good fighter, dude. He only had the EBU. He only won the European title
He was a durable fighter, yes. A lot was made of British fighters back in them day. You could take a road sweeper off the road, he could win a British title, and they'd be singing his praises. Davy Boy Green was tough. That was about it. But he had no skill.
Is Victor Ortiz, he's better than Victor Ortiz? He's better than Victor Ortiz? Come on, be honest, man. Be honest.
The Victor Ortiz that beat Andre Berto?
I
think Victor Ortiz would have knocked out Davy Boy Green. Yep.
Okay. Okay. Oh no, I don't know about that one, man. That's a big bowl, man. Nah, man. I gotta take exception to that. Davy Boy Green, yes, he was a European champion. But he was held over there, welterweight, okay? He gave fits those guys, Ray Leonard, amongst others, okay? Now, but the thing is, though, you can question Leonard's, you want to question Leonard's fights at welterweight. That's cool. But I want to ask you, though, a question, though. What prime opponent did Floyd fight at welterweight that can match up to the levels of Duran, Hearns, and Benitez?
Well, first of all, let's break them down individually, right?
Okay.
I don't want to.
Okay.
All right. Wilfredo Benitez. Okay, he was unbeaten, right?
Yes, he was.
At the time, he had one draw. He had the title. He had beaten Carlos Palermo, Harold Weston.
Right.
Yeah. Those are the two big names on his record. Okay, so let me look on my notes here. So we got a Shane Mosley, right?
Shane Mosley. Yeah. Oh, that's Floyd. Okay, yeah. Shane Mosley.
Yeah.
I'm talking about their prime, though. I'm talking about their prime. Who did Floyd beat in their prime?
No, that was the best. No. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. That was the best version. That was the best version of Mosley that night.
Was supposedly in his prime, though, man. Was he in his prime when he fought him? Come on, man.
But then no. You can't. We can't really talk about prime opponents because then I would have to concede on that. But if we're going to talk about opponents at 147 in their prime, then I would have to go all the way back to his exploits at super featherweight, and that's what I was trying to tell you earlier. Because if you're just talking about 147, then I have to bring up the people that he beat. The opponents that they beat, and the opponents that he beat were at their best. They were all title holders.
So you say that version say Mosley was at his prime when he fought Floyd. Is that what you're saying?
He was at his best that night. He was at his best that night.
Oh, he was at his best. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, I'm trying to figure this out. So we can argue that Shane Mosley has kind of redeemed his form after the Fernando Vargas victories. I can agree with the Antonio Margarito. I'll give you that. But at the same time, many will argue that he was still not the same fighter who was in his prime at lightweight in his early days at welterweight. We can argue he was over.
No. He was overrated he was overrated and protected at lightweight, and then when he come up against Forrest, that's when he was exposed, and then he fought Winky Wright. Again, he was exposed there. He was exposed against Cotto. So a guy that's not hydrated, a guy that's still learning his trade, but in big fights due to his appeal and everything else. No, you'd have to say on that night when he fought Floyd, that was the best version of him there was ever going to be. He was never going to be any better.
That Floyd fought an overrated Shane Mosley. So you're not really giving him credit for that win.
No, I'm saying no. He was overhyped on the way up. On the way up in his career at lightweight, it was very, very overhyped. When he started fighting good opposition, that's when we saw the best of him up until then. But what I'm saying to you is, as a fighter, he continued after that. He continued his career after those losses. He went and he put himself in position to fight Floyd. He beat Collazo, he beat Margarito, he put himself in position. That was the best Mosley there was ever going to be in the ring that night. So yes, do I think he would have beaten the names that you mentioned, the Davy Boy Greens, etc., etc.? Yes, I do think he would. So
you think Shane would have beaten Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran, and Wilfred Benitez? And let's not forget, Benitez also beat Antonio Cervantes, another Hall of Famer, before he fought Ray Leonard. So Benitez was already trained. He was already well seasoned.
Yeah, he was 38-0, like I said. He only had two big names on his record. That was Carlos Palomino and Harold Weston.
Antonio Cervantes. You forgot about him? Nah. Yeah, Cervantes.
Nah, man, he was no good, man.
What? You play Cervantes?
In whose eyes?
Wait.
Was he a title? Did he win a world title?
Gervonta's won a world title. He's a Hall of Famer, bro.
Yeah, I'm not talking about what he done afterwards or what he did at the time.
At the time, he was not a world champion. Yeah, he was not a world champion.
That's my point. That's my point exactly.
Actually, you know what?
It's the same point you make about Pepino.
Never mind. He was a champion when he fought Benitez. Benitez took his title away from him.
What type of
away from him.
I don't know. I don't know. To me, Benitez beat Carlos Palomino and Harold Weston. Those were the two guys at the time that everybody was talking about.
Well, look at.
I can ask older people off the top of their head who Benitez fought, and that's the two names that come up generally.
Yeah, look at.
And I'm just talking boxing trainers.
Okay.
Everything else.
So
I'm not going by.
I'm not that good, man. Are you really serious, man? Tony Cervantes was never good. Are you serious?
No, but look.
Come on, Charlie, I love you, brother.
He's got that one. No. Look. We're not gonna debate his opponents, right? Because I could say the same. No, because then
you do that for Shane Mosley. What are you talking about?
Yeah, because you said a prime Mosley. So if we go to people in their prime, then we have to talk about Floyd's exploits at the lower weight classes.
Okay. All right, fine.
Do you see what I'm saying? You said 147. So
well,
you know what I mean? Okay. And at 147, Sugar Ray Leonard, if we get back onto topic and not go off, other than Benitez for the title, Duran, in which he lost, right? He came back and beat Duran. That was a no mess. So the guy quit. It's not even like he knocked him out or outpointed him. The guy quit.
Right.
Who else has he got on his record other than Tommy Hearns? And I'll give you maybe the Ugandan fighter that he fought.
Yeah, he
was okay. I mean, he was okay though, and he was the WBA light middleweight champion, so he came down to fight we call him Ray Leonard. He came down.
No, that's incorrect. He actually moved. Ray Leonard moved up to fight him for that title, bro. That was for the light middleweight title. He never came down to fight him. Ray Leonard moved up to.
I don't know if the title was on the thing. All I know is that he had that title.
It was on the line that night. Ray Leonard won that fight.
I don't know about that. All I know is that no. I don't know about that, man. And you can't say that because me and you was very, very young then. You can't say that you remember.
I watched the highlights of that fight, man.
Now we saw the highlights years after. Me and you same age. So we saw the highlights after years after. Yeah. All I know is up until then, right? He had I know that he held the Commonwealth title and he held the WBA super welterweight title. I don't know if on that night that was up for grabs or not. I'm not gonna do
it. I'm telling you it was, man. It was up for that night.
Who did he win the title from?
No, Leonard. Okay, Ayub Kali won the title from the Korean fighter. I forgot the guy's name. Who was also it was not only he won the alphabet strap, he also won the lineal title from that guy. And Kalu had 6 successful title defenses afterwards.
Yeah,
he did. All right, so he had 6 successful title defenses along with that.
Right.
And he also beat some good names in there, some pretty decent names. He's got Davey Moore on his red. No, he actually lost to Davey Moore. Let me take that back.
Right. So wait a minute, right? It's safe to then void that fight, isn't it?
Why is that? Because it was a one-off fight.
Because it was at super welterweight. Yeah, it's safe to void that, right? Okay, let's void that. Let's go with the 147. Let's get back to it. The 147. So who's he got? He's got Duran, who he lost to, and then who no masked. So he didn't really authentically beat the guy. Well, you could argue the second fight he beat him so badly that he just quit, right?
Yeah, well, the third fight he outpointed him. And when I was at his,
that was at super middleweight. We're talking about 147.
Okay.
So at 147, right? He's only got that one, those two names, right? Benitez and Hearns.
And Duran.
Right?
And Duran.
And no mess.
Yeah, but he won the fight.
And a loss.
Spread that, Charlie.
And no mess and a loss.
But Leonard was outpointing him and winning that fight on the cards. You can't change the outcome on that one, bro.
All right. Floyd's got. Let me tell you who Floyd's got. Right? Floyd's got a Miguel Cotto,
At 154. Not at welterweight. Come on. Come on. Don't say at
All right,
154.
so it's voided, right?
Yeah,
So it's
that's
voided.
voided.
All
Yeah.
right, so it's voided. Okay, then he's got a
Uh-huh.
Pac-Man. He's got a Madonna twice. He's got a Robert
Okay.
Guerrero.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He's got a Victor Ortiz. He's got a
Uh-huh.
Shane Mosley.
Okay. And any of those guys could be any of those three guys at welterweight: Duran, Benitez, and Hearns. And then,
I'm not.
can they
I'm
be?
not. I'm not.
Can they
We're
be?
not
Are
here
they
to
better?
discuss. No. We're not here to discuss opponents versus opponents.
Why not?
We're here to, you said his exploits at 154. Because either way, because you see the reason why I say that is right. This is why I tried to say to you earlier.
Uh-huh.
If you would then have to drag in all their fights, all the fights of their career, and if you do that, you said you would concede. That's what you said. That was your words earlier on today.
Well, I
You
will.
would concede that he has the more stellar resume. That's what you said.
Well, on paper he does. I did say that. On paper
I'm
he
trying to
has
give
more of
you.
the
I'm
work.
trying to give you a bit of a, you know,
What is?
yeah, a bit of a way in, because
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I would say this though. Floyd has more work. I'll give him that. But at the same time, just because you have more work doesn't mean it can't be breaking down. Your resume cannot be matched to another guy who may have less than few fights. Now let's look at this. Floyd Mayweather only has. Well, let's okay. You want to include Conor McGregor?
I haven't even spoke about Ricky Hatton yet.
Yeah, that's
But
fine. That's fine. But I'm just saying this.
right,
Let's just say that. Should I include Conor McGregor? So be it. If not, let's say if we don't include him because he was a novice. Okay,
no, that was 154. No, that was 154.
Okay, but let's.
Like I said, right. If
Uh-huh.
if you're gonna not include any of the fights that Floyd fought, like you just said, Cotto, you were quick to say Cotto, that was at super welterweight, right?
That's you. But
That's
like
why
I said, we can
no,
do
but
it if
like
you
I
want
said,
to.
so no Hagler, no Terry Norris,
No
who's
Camacho. No
yeah,
Camacho. No
no
Danan.
Camacho, no Thomas Hearns second fight,
All right.
yeah,
No Kalu. All right.
no Kalu. Right now, okay, let's go back to the 147.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Marquez.
Marquez. Okay, that was a catchweight. 140. Yeah,
Doesn't
welterweight.
matter.
Doesn't matter. Okay, fine.
Former multi-weight champion at feather super feather.
That's fine.
Had mixed it with great competition. I reckon he beats the Davy Boy Greens.
Okay, I'll give you Marquez.
All right.
What about?
I think I'm not sure. Again, with Benitez, you're gonna have to tell me honestly who Benitez fought, other than them two names I gave already. That really would have, you know what I mean, for you to make that point.
Okay, the three names: Cervantes, what you call it, the other guy that you mentioned, Cuevas, right? Errol Weston, that's right.
Yeah.
Bruce Curry, what about him? He was a damn good name. He was a pretty good name.
Well, a 13-0 guy that he beat.
Yeah,
Them two fights were non-title fights, though.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, but Bruce Curry was a
Yeah,
champion.
they were non-title fights.
Yeah,
All
but
these
he was a
fights that
champion.
I'm telling
He
you,
was a
no.
champion.
All these 140. Well, wait a second. No, he wasn't the champion
No, he was a
when he
former
beat.
champion. No, he was a former champion. He was a good fighter. That's what I'm telling you.
No, not before he beat not before Benitez fought him though. He was only 13-0.
Yeah, but yeah, Curry was a champion though. I'm telling you, he was a former champion.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
after is
Yeah.
that not after?
No, he did become champion after. No.
Yes, he did. Yes,
Actually,
he did.
no, you're right.
Yes,
yeah, he did. Yes,
yes, he
I remember
did.
first correctly. Yeah, he did.
Right.
Yeah, he became a champion after that. Yeah, so he fought Bruce Curry, who became
Right,
eventual world
who
champion.
was a prospect when he fought him, right? It was two
Yeah.
10-rounders, right? I know
Yeah.
this, right?
Yeah.
Because I studied it, yeah? He fought him at Madison Square Garden. This is where I talk about the Randy Shields, right? I'll give you Bruce Curry was good, right?
He was good.
A good prospect, yes, a good prospect, but it was a 10-rounder.
Uh-huh.
And really and truly, he would have had to have knocked out Benitez to win that fight. There's no way he was going to win that fight on points, even if he did win it.
I can't believe you won't give Benitez credit for Cervantes. Tony Cervantes, man, that's kind of bizarre. Why not? Why?
Where did they fight?
They fought in. Let me see when Cervantes was at his peak. They fought in 1976, I believe. It was for the light welterweight title back then. So it was for the title, and and Benitez took it away from him in a split decision.
You just said super lightweight.
Yes.
So that's 140. So it's void. It's void.
How's that void? How's that void?
Why, yeah, that's why I'm not recalling it, because it's void.
How's it void?
We're talking about 147. So when
no,
about no, wait. Well, then that's why I said to you, you would talk about Mosley earlier, saying, "Oh, what did he do? What did he do? Was that the best version of him?" And I told you, all his exploits were, you know, a weight class down, a couple of weight classes down. So you're doing the same thing now. You're saying I can't do it with Mosley, but now you're doing it.
No, I say you could do it with Mosley. I say I had no problem with that. I'm asking you who. All I asked was because Mosley. No. Yeah, Welter. What I'm saying is, though, that's fine. That's fine. What I'm saying from an overall scope is that could Mosley beat that version? Say Mosley beat Roberto Duran, Roberto Benitez, and Tommy Hearns. Could he do it?
I'm not really here to discuss that. You know what I mean?
You said welterweight.
You said welterweight, right? So at welterweight, Benitez only has Carlos Palomino and Harold Weston. He beat Palomino for the belt. Yes. And then he defended it against Harold Weston. That was a 15-rounder. He won a unanimous decision. Then he fought Ray Leonard.
Okay.
So really, he only had 2 exploits at welterweight. So that Bruce Curry, all of that business that you was talking about, that's kind of, well, Bruce Curry I'll put in there because I think that was at welterweight. It was a non-title fight. I think that actually was at welterweight. Randy Shields, I told you I added him as an extra one.
Okay,
because he had mixed it with
exploits at welterweight. Why Mario Marquez didn't have that great exploits at welterweight? If you want to go there,
yeah, but that's the whole thing. We know. No. You see, you're trying it. You're trying it.
I'm not trying it.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that, man. I didn't say that Marquez could beat. I didn't say that. We're not here to discuss whether the opponents could beat the opponents. We're here to discuss like the actual what Sugar Ray Leonard did at 147. And I'm saying that he beat a guy who only beat 2 opponents at welterweight for titles. Remember, all these guys that I'm naming with Floyd Mayweather, they all had titles.
Right.
These were all title fights. You're bringing up all these non-title fights, Bruce Curry, you know what I mean? Even Randy Shields. That's why I didn't, you know what I mean? I gave you that, but that's a non-title fight if we're being technical. So Benitez only had the fight where he actually won the title against Palomino and Harold Weston.
All right, well,
and then Ray Leonard beat him. So at championship level, you're fighting a guy who's groomed, who's a gold medalist.
Okay,
really and truly, Benitez. I'm not going to debate whether he would have held up against the guys that Fing fought, but let's talk about him and who he fought at that time. He only fought 2 welterweight opponents up until then.
Okay, well, if you're gonna do,
you're not gonna give me my credit for Marquez's exploits at the lower weights.
No, I would until you. No, I was until you decided to do that to Benitez. If you're gonna do that, then Oscar De La Hoya should not get no credit for his exploits at welterweight. Why? Because he fought many guys who didn't have great exploits at that.
No. Wait a minute. I didn't even bring up. I didn't bring up. I didn't bring up. No.
And the fact is, you want to give credit for that win. That's fine. What I'm telling you is this: if you're gonna do that, you're gonna have you trying to take away people's pieces from their resume.
No. Because then what you saying that Benitez would have beaten Felix Trinidad?
Benitez, I don't think he's going
to.
Nah, those fights, yeah. But I'm talking about people who look. Benitez beat Camacho. He would beat Camacho.
Them guys.
No, he would have beat Camacho.
He wouldn't have beat Corte though. He wouldn't beat Corte.
I don't know about that one. He'll give Corte hell.
Beat Felix Trinidad.
I'll give you. Trinidad. What I mean? I'll give you Trinidad, but I think he'll beat Chavez. And Chavez wasn't.
Would he have beaten a prime? Mosley, because Mosley beat De La Hoya. If we're gonna be, if you see, this is what I'm saying. This is all at welterweight as well, right? Okay. And these are all title fights.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's back this up.
So the point is this. The point is this, right? Every time Mayweather went in the ring at 147, it was for a title.
Yeah, but who unified the division? Yeah, but the difference is that Ray Leonard fought in an era there was only 2 belts, bruh. Floyd fought in an era. Yeah, no. Hold up. Floyd only fought in an era there was 4 belts, so he had plenty of options to go. And the fact is, did he clean out his division during that process? Did he do that?
Them guys, wait a second. Them guys fought in a wait. Let me answer the question. Them guys fought in an era where they were definitely 2 belts on the line.
Yeah.
And maybe a third. I think, when did the IBF come out? Towards the
83, I believe.
Yeah, so it was out. So the IBF was out. So there were 3 belts up for grabs as well, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So all right. Okay. Let's go back to Leonard's record. Other than Hearns and the Duran that he lost to and quit against him, and Benitez, who else has he got?
As far as the welterweights is concerned, I mentioned Andy Price.
Come on.
Andy Price was good. You cannot discredit Andy Price,
World title fights. World title fights. Yeah.
Okay, those are world title fights. He's only got Duran, Hearns, and Benitez.
Right.
Okay.
You want to know who Floyd's got?
Yeah, I know who he's got.
Pacquiao, Madonna twice, Guerrero. You say no Cotto, fair enough. Yeah, it was a super welterweight fight. Ortiz, Mosley, Marquez, Hatton.
All right.
Baldemir.
Good. The question is
Judah.
Okay. That's it.
And Mitchell and Shamba Mitchell.
That's not a title fight. Nope, that was not a title fight.
No, it wasn't a title fight. Sorry, my bad.
All right.
Zab Judah.
That's fine. You mentioned him. Now the question is, did Floyd clean out that division during his process at welterweight? Did he do that?
What do you mean clean out?
He did. I'm asking, did he unify? Did he become an undisputed champion in that division?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
He did not. Well, come on, Charlie. You got caught right.
No,
he did not.
I don't. No. You see, the thing is, the guy held so many titles.
Okay, who did he clean out?
And there was so many times where he had to give up titles, this, that, and the third. That's a silly question. That's a silly question.
No, why? Because Leonard did that. Leonard cleaned it out. He became the undisputed champion. No, yes, he did, bro. He did that. In the era, look it up. There was era was only 2 belts and 2 sanctioned bodies.
No, he didn't, man. No, he didn't. He only had the WBC belt.
Charlie, you're making errors, bro. Look it up. He had the
You're trying it. No, he didn't. When he beat Benitez, don't lie. Let's not lie now.
I'm not lying. Oh my God.
When he beat Benitez, he only had the WBC belt. Right, he didn't have the WBA. If we're gonna have this conversation, look, the WBA came out before the WBC, so we're not gonna go there with all that nonsense. Right?
You're incorrect. Let me tell you why. Because first of all,
it came out before them. It came out before.
I understand that. Yeah, the WBA is the oldest sanctioned body. I get that. It was the NBA sanctioned body. But this is where you're factually wrong. Ray Leonard, when he beat Benitez for the title, he had one successful defense, right? I guess against Bruce Finch, I believe. I think it was him. But anyways, he fought Duran after that. He lost his title to Duran. He got 3 matches.
You're lying. No, I'm
not lying. Oh my God.
I'm gonna stop you because when people listen back, they're gonna say, "Hey, no, my man was wrong." No, he didn't. He beat Benitez for the WBC title. That was it. Then he defended that title against your Messiah, Davey Boy Green, right? Yeah. Then he fought Duran, right? For that same title.
Yes.
He didn't fight for the You remember, the WBA didn't come. It was Thomas Hearns that had that title.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to tell
and
you.
He didn't. But wait a minute. Wait a second, because you're trying it. You really are trying it.
I'm not trying it, brother.
He fought for the WBC against Duran, right? He defended it against Duran and he lost it. Then he won it back against Duran, right? Then he beat Larry Bonds.
Yes.
When he fought the Ugandan guy, like you said, now you see, I would have given you that. you had to correct yourself. He went up to super welterweight to fight, right? So we've already voided that. Then he came back down to fight Thomas Hearns for the WBA. It was Thomas Hearns who he fought for the WBA, right?
No,
he fought Bruce. Yes.
No, Ray Leonard.
Yes, he did.
Bruh, you're not listening. Ray Leonard kept the WBC welterweight title. He went up and fought Kalu on a
Yeah,
one-off
I said
fight.
that. Yeah, no, I
he
said
went-
that. I said that. Yeah, I'm not
no,
disagreeing that.
Hold
I'm
on.
talking about the WBA.
I
I'm
understand
talking
that.
about the
I
WBA
understand
title.
that. But Leonard had the WBC welterweight title when he fought Kalu. When he beat
Yeah,
Kalu, he
yeah,
vacated
I
the
know that.
154
Yeah, I
belts.
know that.
He kept that 147 WBC
I
belt.
know that. I know that.
A
We're
champion.
not debating that. We're not debating that.
You just said that Leonard was not the undisputed champion. I'm telling you, he was.
No,
Charlie, you got caught, man. Come on, dude.
Nah. You're talking about a cut. Nah, you're trying it, you know.
No, I'm not trying. Charlie. He did. It's in the record books.
No.
That was an undisputed title fight.
No, it wasn't.
Okay. All right, Charlie, whatever you say. But
all right. It was an undisputed. All right, look, it was an undisputed title fight, right?
Yes, he did.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Yeah, he fought Thomas Hearns for the WBA belt, right? Then he defended it against Bruce Finch. Yeah,
and he defended the WBC belt too.
Yes,
let's not forget that.
Then we've got
and the lineal title on the line that night. It was.
So he was undisputed champion for best part of, let's be real, okay, September, so that October, November, December, January, for 5 months.
Right. He was, and he after he beat Bruce Finch. Yeah, after he beat Bruce Finch, he was going to schedule to defend against Aaron Pryor, the same guy that they accused Ray Leonard for ducking, which is not true. And I'm still getting harassed on my old video when I brought out the facts that didn't happen. People coming at me with that, but anyways, it is what it is. Of course, Leonard retired due to to eye injuries and stuff like that. And that fight.
So you're discrediting, I suppose, the kind of unification of sorts with Floyd, because really at the time you're talking about a time when the IBF belt wasn't out yet, and there was 2, and he won it. So basically, that 5 months that he was undisputed champion. Yeah, where do you go from there? What are you trying to say?
Floyd never became undisputed champion. Makes him better. Never cleaned it out. He never cleaned out his divisions, bro. Your argument is that Floyd had a longer longevity at 147. It's not tight play active. That's what you're arguing.
He didn't clean it. No. He didn't clean it out because he was when he fought Cotto, he was fighting for the light middleweight title. He had the diamond belt against Cotto. So yeah, he cleaned out at light middle. And he held 2. Yeah. Wait,
how did he clean out light middle?
So why did they make the diamond? Why did they make? Wait a second. Why did they make the diamond belt?
I have no idea. We all know that Floyd is in bed with some of those sanctioned bodies like the WBC.
Come on, man. Let's not talk conspiracy nonsense, man.
Let's
not talk conspiracy nonsense, right? Don't do that. You see, don't put out narratives, right? They made that belt for the very reason, like, that's the boss of all bosses. Guy, that was made so that he would click. He had the WBA and that diamond belt against Cotto. Then he went prison. All right, he come out. He beat Guerrero. Then that set him up for that fight with Alvarez. So you're saying no. Wait a minute. You're saying the WBA and the WBC by the old standards. Now, obviously, there's more belts, so that's unfair for you to say, well, Floyd didn't have all the belts, so he didn't clean up. Well, he did clean up.
Who did he clean up? Okay, he didn't fight Thurman. Okay, first of all, he didn't fight Thurman. He didn't fight Bradley. He didn't fight, Spence coming up. So, I mean, come on, man. He didn't fight Khan. Ducked him as a mandatory. So, what are you talking about? What do you mean he didn't clean out?
You just said, look.
He didn't fight Paul Williams. He didn't fight Margarito. So, come on. What are you talking about?
No. So it's about opponents now. It's not about belts.
No. I'm telling you, he didn't clean out. I'm telling you, he never cleaned out. He was not undisputed champion, Charlie. No, you understand?
I was talking about Ray Leonard. No. Wait a minute. You said Ray Leonard was the undisputed champ.
He was
back in 1981, right? For 5 months.
Yeah.
And you're saying that because of that, Floyd never cleaned out the welterweight division.
I didn't say that. I said that Ray Leonard cleaned out the early version of the welterweight division when he got the undisputed championship.
Then we can't bring that. That can't. If a guy holds 2 belts simultaneously, WBC and WBA. And Floyd does the same thing. Could it be safe to say whatever division that is that they've cleaned out by your standards? Because then we're talking about literally 6 months later, you've got an IBF sanctioning body.
Well, you can't do that because first of all, Charlie, you're trying to invoke the old rules of
No,
the
no, I'm not
yesteryears.
trying to
Yes, you
invoke
do.
anything. You're
Yes, you
trying
do.
to,
Yes, you can
you're
do
trying
it.
to
Those
minimize,
rules.
you're trying to minimize
No,
Floyd's
Charlie,
achievements,
Charlie, you
and
can't do
I'm
that.
telling
First
you.
of all, over the years, rules changed, man. Now you're living in an era where Floyd is when he fought. You have to get all the other sanctioned belts become undisputed.
Let me make
Back
it
then,
easier. Let me make it
you
easier. Let
can't
me
do
make this
that,
debate
Charlie.
easier for you. Let me make this
You
debate
can't do
easier
that.
for you, right?
Well, hold on. Before you go further, I got to talk to Fat Apples in the conversation. Fat Apples, man. First of all, this is about respect, man. We're not bringing nobody's past into the conversation. All right, let's leave that out. We're talking about their championship, their careers in the boxing ring. Let's leave that out. All right, but go ahead, man.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not even reading the comment section. So let's go back to it. All right.
Yeah.
I forgot. I lost my chain of thought there, boy. So wait a minute, right?
Mhm.
How do you want it? So we're talking about 147, right?
Right.
Right. Okay. Now, and we was also talking. Was we talking about resume, just purely resume, or skill set? Because the comment that got us here really was that fact that you said a prime Leonard beats a prime Mayweather.
Yep, that's
That's
the
why I
one.
have the disagreement, right?
Yep.
I would say on achievements, it's a bit because Floyd's a 5-weight champion, a multi-weight champion.
Uh huh.
It's a bit, you know what I mean? We can't really compare resumes, can we? It's
Um.
easy to say. Wouldn't it be better to say that Floyd wins in that argument?
Well, we could say he achieved a little bit more, but this you
A
have to
lot
still,
more. A
yeah,
lot
but
more.
yeah, no, a lot more. Okay, first of all, we could distinguish that. First of all, when Floyd Mayweather was moved up between the weights, right? He had good wins as Pretty Boy Floyd. I'll give him full credit for that. All right, but you also have to take into account of the fact that he's been very selective during the most part of his career, which he openly admitted. Okay, he even went on various interviews, including that infamous interview with R.A. the Rugged Man. He told him that I'm not going to put myself in a position where all these guys have to take dangerous fights in their careers. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. All right. Legacy don't pay bills. Skills pay bills. That's what he said. All right. This came out of his own mouth.
Come
I
on,
didn't say
man.
that.
That's
I don't
come on,
know,
man.
man. When you do that, nah,
You're
when you
holding him
do that,
to
nah, bro.
comments. Nah. We're not gonna hold a man to comments that were said that
Why
taken out
not?
of
We do
context
that to
or
every fighter. We do that to every fighter, bro. We do that to every
sometimes
fighter
fighters
today.
sometimes
We do that.
fighters get sometimes fighters are a bit annoyed, you know what I mean, at the time they're not getting the props they deserve and blah 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 blah. We're not gonna go there, man.
Okay.
We know that there was a mob of people really out to bring down Floyd, and possibly you were part of that mob. You know
Oh,
what I
no,
mean?
don't do
Possibly
that.
you're part of that
Don't
mob
do that. No, let me tell you
because
something. No, let me tell you something. I
let's talk
supported
about
Floyd.
Ricky Hatton as well. Let's
Hold on,
talk
hold
about
on. Hold on. Let me defend myself here. I defended Floyd for a while until he kept bringing me, the TBE comments. That's cool. I got no problem with the TBE comments. But when you say that Muhammad Ali was a shit compared to you, when you say Ray Robinson was a shit compared to you, when you say all these other guys were a shit compared to you, then you're crossing the line. You're doing that just to sell
why
tickets. Which
why is he crossing the line?
first of all, Muhammad Ali, he ain't been through the gauntlet that Ali went through. You
What
don't
did
have to like
Ali go through? What did Ali go through? Ali
what do
never
you mean what he
was
go
on.
through?
He was never on a plantation. Wait a minute. No. Wait a minute. Stop. Listen to what you're
Wait,
saying. He was never on a plantation like Joe Frazier. Yeah,
wait
he
a
was
minute.
never chased down by the KKK. No, he wasn't. He had there was one interval in his life that changed his life when he came back from winning the gold medal and he went into a restaurant, I believe, and they said he had to sit. He couldn't sit in a particular place. He had to sit, in the black section. That was about it. He was
Okay,
never on the plantation. He came from a good home, good structured thing. He was, the neighborhood where they lived, there was all type of policemen and people like that. It was Joe Martin, wasn't it? Joe Martin that took him to the gym,
yeah, Joe Martin, yeah,
a white policeman.
yeah.
So we're not going to go and say that Ali was this,
Well, first of
downtrodden,
all,
low down.
Muhammad
No,
Ali.
no, no, no.
And so,
Let
no,
me
no,
finish. Let me finish.
no,
No,
let
no,
me
no.
say
Let me
something, bro.
finish. Let me finish. No.
Okay,
Because you're gonna
okay,
move the
go.
goalposts.
Okay,
I know
no,
what
no,
you do. I know you're good at what you do. You're good at
man.
what you do, man.
No, go
You're
ahead,
good
brother.
at what you do. You're good
Go.
at what you do.
I'm gonna respond, but go
But,
ahead.
but
Go ahead.
let's just keep it real, right?
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Ali, yeah, he might have stood up for a cause at a time when maybe black people were a tiny bit subservient, and you know what I mean. And he was on
Nah, it
TV.
ain't maybe,
But
though.
remember,
It
he
ain't
had
no
to be
maybe.
authorized. Wait a second.
Uh-huh.
Once you're part of any Olympic structure in any part of the world, you're part of the, you know what I mean. You're part of the fraternity of that country. Is what it is. All right. I'm not here to debate conspiracy theories. That I'm here to let's keep it on the truth. Once you are part of the Olympic team, you are part of the fraternity.
No,
Right?
come on, man.
Gold, silver, or bronze. Of course you are.
What?
Of course you are. You want me to show you the pictures where he's doing the Masonic signs?
Well, first of all, Muhammad Ali, when he
All
came
right.
home, that is true what you said
So,
about that story when he came home and he was mistreated. Even before that, when he turned pro, he used to have spitball thrown at him going in his local fights in Kentucky, man. All right, this is a man who was incarcerated because he refused to fight in the war when he felt. No, hold up, Charlie. You had your hands
wait,
No, Charlie, no, Charlie, you can't do
that
that.
doesn't make you. But that doesn't make you a revolutionary. No. That doesn't make you a revolutionary.
Charlie, you had your
Floyd
chance
went
to
to
speak.
jail.
No, let me finish. Let me finish, okay? First of all, let me finish, brother. I love you, man, but let me finish, okay? All right, this is a man who spoke his mind, which I have to agree with. A country that wants to recruit me to fight a war against another country that had nothing to do why I'm being oppressed was the reason why he was criticized, especially by Joe Louis, okay? He was criticized, went to jail for it, lost 4 years of his prime because of that, lost all his money, whatever it was.
He didn't lose 4 years. It was 2 years of his prime.
Or 3.5, whatever it was.
Well, coming up to 3. Yeah.
Okay, my mistake.
Between 2 and 3. Yeah.
Okay,
Let's not lie and add stuff.
It don't lie. It was no lie. It was a mistake, bro. Come on. There's a difference between making a mistake and lie like you did with Leonard.
A few mistakes today, you know.
No, you made a lot, Charlie. Come on. But the fact is, man, he had to sacrifice what he felt, what he believed in, just so he could speak out what he felt was right when it came to social injustice in the United States. Believe me. You know, we had, I know I wasn't born back then, but I can tell you my grandparents when they were alive.
Right. Stop. You just
No.
avoided the argument. You weren't.
I'm not avoiding the argument.
But we are born now.
Now, when I'm telling you, okay.
Right.
I
will say this. I'll say this to you because I wouldn't want to upset you, right? And I've said this. I'll say this to any elders, right, in my family that love Ali. Look. The guy was never really one of those people that was like I said, Frazier was on a plantation when he was 8 years old. On a plantation.
I get that.
Yeah. There's we're talking 2 different things. Cleveland Williams.
On plantation.
Yeah, right.
Wait, hold up. Joe Frazier was born in 1942, so was he still picking
He was
cotton?
on a plantation he was picking cotton down south before he moved to Philadelphia. Wasn't born in Philadelphia. He was born down in the southern states.
Yeah.
The thing, he actually had to flee. Remember, a lot of these old school fighters before they moved the DCs, Chicago's, and all of that, they were all born down south, including Walter Smith, Ray Robinson, including him. A lot of them came from the southern states.
Well, let me ask you this: when he worked on that plantation, was he done by force, or was he done by at his choice?
I can't answer that. I can't answer that. I just know for a fact I got some of his autobiographies. He was on the plantation at 8 years old. I don't know. And what I'm trying to say to you is this: Ali was never on no plantation.
That's fine, but he
was never on no plantation. He was never things. So there was no struggle really. Also, he was authorized. Wait a second. Let me finish. And I'm going back to the point that I'm making. Once you're part of the Olympic team, I don't care how much black power you've got in you. Anybody who is on that platform that can say them kind of things has to be in a fraternity of sorts, even if the rooms are separate. Even if they had ones for black folks and ones for white folks, they have to be part of a fraternity to talk that kind of stuff. Yeah, the Malcolm X's, the Martin Luthers. You could do your research on that. They are authorized. They are authorized to say those things that they say. Now, I'm not saying that. I'll leave it there. I won't talk about any conspiracies.
Well, you are, because there's no evidence of that.
That's not a conspiracy.
That's not a conspiracy, bro.
It's not a conspiracy. A fraternity. No, fraternities are real. Wait a second. Don't put words in my mouth. And I'm trying to educate the people as well, right?
I'm not
talking about devil worship and all this bullshit. I'm talking about there are fraternities in every country on the world, right?
Right.
It started in Ghana, went to Scotland, and spread throughout Britain and throughout the world. Simple as that. Bottom line, yeah, from the 1600s. Okay, and the main reason why it started in Ghana and it was brought there, and because they couldn't contain the wildness, the fierceness of the guys that were fighting against them, right? That's why they brought in fraternities, and the fraternities were started by Africans first, in order to teach the Europeans how to dress, behave, talk, this, that, and the third. That is fact. So when you come all the way down the line to Ali, you talking about Ali was like he was some, you know, like he was really impoverished, this, that, and the third. No, he had a good middle class upbringing.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, he wasn't fit. He wasn't on no plantation. He wasn't nailed to no tree. He wasn't getting lynched. The only thing, like I said, that happened to him is when he came back from winning the gold medal, and obviously he threw his gold medal into the river, allegedly, right? Is when he came back and he was told that he had to sit in a certain part of the restaurant, that he couldn't sit in the part where the white people were. That was it.
Or so you're saying that him being outspoken against an unjust war, some say an illegal war. Now we know all the evidence about that. Wait, wait, hold up, man, hold up. So you're saying that being outspoken against an unjust war, which we all know now is pretty much was an illegal war, okay? Speaking out against that, speaking about the oppression, you saying that he didn't have to endure the backlash over that? I mean, when did Joe Frazier ever do that? I'm just saying. I'm saying nobody is perfect.
I'm not saying that. I didn't say that. I wasn't comparing them in the sense of that. What I was trying to say is you was talking about Mayweather.
Okay.
Right? And you were saying that Mayweather didn't have to do this. I'm just saying that times are different. Right? They're both part of, once you get part of an Olympic team, you're part of a fraternity. It's just simple as what it is. You don't have to go to the little titty bar meetings that they have with the little fezzes and that, but you are part of that, if you, to some degree, whether you like it or not, and you are given direction and instructions on things you can say and can't say. Well, it's up to you as a person to go, whether you want to go the right way with it or you want to be corrupted with it. That's why I said to you, I'm not here to talk about conspiracy theory, this, that, and the third. But if you're going to bring up that point to try and belittle Floyd Mayweather, okay. Let's compare now. Well, you did. You said
I did. No, I did. No, all I said was, Charlie, you took it to this level, not me. I didn't do that. Yeah. All I said was that you don't go around. You can say you're TBE. That's cool. I got no problem with that. When you invoking the legends that did way greater things than you, then I got a problem with that.
Yes. Even one of those legends is Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah. No, Sugar Ray Robinson. I said Sugar Ray Robinson.
Yeah. But all right. Fast forward. This is why we're here. Yeah. We're here because you didn't like his Instagram post that he said against Leonard, and I heard in your video you said a prime Leonard destroys Mayweather, and that's how we got here. So
let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Yeah. Let's talk about that. Now, let's talk about that. Now, you break it down. Why do you think that Floyd would beat
you to, because you made the point.
No, I'm asking you. Break it down. Why?
No. I'll tell you why Floyd beats him. But first of all, you have to tell me why Leonard was, because you started explaining it, but it was kind of brief.
He
was your words were he would have killed Floyd Mayweather.
I think you would brutalize him. That's what I think.
You said killed, but yeah.
Okay, whatever. I did. Okay, fine. All right. So you want me to go first, explain it, or you want to go first?
No, you first, because you made the comment. I'm going to tell you why he does. I'm going to tell you why Mayweather beats him.
Yeah.
How he beats him, not how he beats him, but why he beats.
Why he beats him.
What would happen?
What would happen in the ring? Okay. Now I know people are going to bring up the defensive genius and what you call the pedigree and the skills that Floyd Mayweather had, which is great. I don't deny that. Okay. But the one thing that Floyd Mayweather did is that he didn't have the knockout power at welterweight, because if you look at his welterweight run, he only has one legitimate knockout, and that's against what you call Ricky Hatton. That was it. Okay, of course he stopped Sean Bay Mitchell, but Sean Bay Mitchell was not a natural welterweight. So let's not let's mention that as well. Okay, as opposed to Ray Leonard, who's had plenty of knockouts at welterweight. Okay, he's knocked out a lot of guys at welterweight. Some guys who are bigger, stronger than him, like Tommy Hearns, for example. Okay, and furthermore, Ray Leonard was not only a fighter who can pressure you and come forward and hit you. He can hit you with combinations. He can hit you with good counter shots. He can box off the back foot. He was very good defensively. He was also durable. He had a great chin. Okay, and furthermore, Ray Leonard fought that style, which people don't, tend not to include. Floyd Mayweather Sr., the same guy who taught Floyd Mayweather Jr. that style. Okay, yes, Floyd Mayweather Jr. made that style a little bit better, but at the same time, it was Floyd Sr. who taught him that, who taught him to those reflexes, how to carry off punches, and how to do the shoulder roll. Okay, and Floyd Sr. was more aggressive than Floyd Jr. Okay. And the fact is that Ray Leonard, he couldn't get Ray Leonard's respect when Floyd Sr. fought him, okay? So my thing is that, to conclude, is that how could anybody believe that Floyd Jr., if Floyd Sr. couldn't get his respect by the same style, how could Floyd Jr. do it? Floyd Jr. couldn't barely knock these guys out.
Floyd Jr. is unbeaten. Because, first of all, Floyd Jr. is unbeaten. Yeah? So that's a pretty silly thing to say. Second of all,
yeah, who did he beat?
Floyd Senior, sorry, when he was 15-1, he had already been shot. He'd already been there was already a bullet lodged in him, which they managed to remove, but he'd already been shot by his brother-in-law coming into that Ray Leonard fight.
Shot against who? Who was he shot against?
What do you mean, who was he shot against? I'm talking physically shot. He already had been shot by his brother-in-law, by Floyd's mum's brother, before he fought Leonard.
Wait a minute. Floyd Sr. only had one loss going into that fight. It was still early in his career. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. I'm talking about shot with a gun. with a gun.
Okay, he got shot. Okay, I'm about to say,
right. He was already, I don't mean shot as in shot in the ring. I mean, he was shot, literally shot, like Cleveland Williams was before he fought Ali.
Okay.
Same thing, right? Yeah. So, okay. So he's been shot.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a guy that's been shot. It's a 10-rounder.
All right.
Do you really think that he was there? There was nothing on the line.
All right.
At all. Yeah, and he beat him, right?
Okay.
He then taught Floyd. Okay, you're saying he taught Floyd everything he knew.
Yes.
When Floyd won the bronze medal, where was Floyd Mayweather Sr.?
What was Floyd Mayweather Sr.? He didn't come train until like maybe early part of his career.
Yeah, but why though?
Why? They had some differences. Why do you think?
No, they didn't have differences. They didn't have differences. He was in prison.
Okay.
He was in prison. So he didn't learn nothing. So all this thing about, this is why I got to say, right? When you're saying that, okay, he taught him everything he knew. Yeah, from a baby. But really and truly, most of Floyd's kind of young life and his teen years, he was just living with his mum, in between his mum and his grandmother, right?
Okay.
He moved to his grandmother's because his mother got hung up on drugs. Yeah. And then when he was going to the Olympic trials and everything like that, he was sitting in hotels around America and around the world, eating Doritos, trying to keep his weight. He was doing that all by himself.
All right.
Yeah. He brought himself up. He taught himself. Yes, he was guided. I understand Floyd Sr. did a lot for him, and he's a very good trainer. I'm not diminishing the man's father or his mother or nothing like that. I only go by what a man say, what is truthfully in his heart. When he won that bronze medal or whatever, was robbed of it, whatever the case may be, he did that by himself. There was no Floyd Sr. When he turned pro, it was Jeff and Roger.
Okay.
We don't see Floyd until when? When do we see Floyd?
Okay. So
right, because there was no Floyd. No, wait a second. There was no Floyd when he fought De La Hoya. There was no Floyd when he fought.
Because De La Hoya Senior stayed out of that situation.
He didn't come until 2013.
He didn't start training until 2013. Are you sure about that? Because there's plenty of clips of him training Floyd when he was a teen in the gym, bro. There's clips on there. I'm not sure about that. But anyways, when I'm asking you, what I have to ask you is, no, bro. That is. What I gotta ask you is this: if you believe that Floyd, even though Floyd hasn't really knocked out, he only had 2 knockouts at welterweight throughout his welterweight career. Let me ask you this: how could Floyd Mayweather beat a Ray Leonard at his prime at welterweight when he haven't fought the style of Ray Leonard? How could he do it?
What do you mean he hasn't fought the style of Ray Leonard?
He hasn't. How could he beat him? He hasn't fought that style.
He's fought guys that have a high work rate. He's fought guys that are quick. He's fought guys that are bigger and stronger than him.
Okay, who had that? Who
counted them? So
no.
At 147. Well, wait there. So have you finished? You finished your point, right?
Well, okay.
You kind of went into you were sort of romancing about his hand speed, this, that, and the third, and then you went into the fact that he beat Floyd's dad. So I just trumped that argument of yours because Floyd's dad weren't really relevant in his life in terms of boxing.
Wait a minute, Charlie.
As a prof, wait a second. Wait a second. I'm getting to it. He wasn't relevant until he signed that Showtime deal, right? That was the latter stages of his career where he was like, well, boy, I don't really want to be offensive no more. Okay, let's talk about the senior, the times when he went up to welterweight, right? Now, what are you asking me now? Can he, because you're going off fit, you're saying this opponent, that opponent. Do you want me to break down why I feel that he beat Leonard?
Well, before you do that, no, before you do that, Charlie, you're my brother, but before you do that, who did he fight that could be matched up to Ray Leonard welterweight in their prime?
What do you mean matched up? What do you mean?
Come on, here's the question. Come on, man.
That's who did Ray Leonard beat? Who did that can match up to Floyd? And don't say his dad.
Yeah, his dad
already took a slug. That was a come on, man. That was a guy that took it. That was the same style, Charlie. You can't deny it. That's no. That was a guy that took a slug. That was in bad circle. No, I'm sorry. No, sorry.
Charlie, we got to disagree.
You're not talking about. You're not talking. No. Don't try it. Don't even go there, man. Don't even go there.
No, that's the same style, same shoulder roll, same foot movement, same hand speed. The only thing I liked there was the power. Come on, Charlie, answer the question. That's
a stupid. That's a silly question.
It's not a silly question, bro.
Man. That's not even relevant to the. That's not even relevant to the conversation. No,
it is a relevant question. You don't. The reason why it's not relevant to you because you don't have an answer to it.
No, because it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant, man. Come on, man. Who did Leonard fight that was like Floyd?
That his father. Come on.
What with a slug? Yeah.
Yeah.
A short version. A short.
Don't matter.
Version. Come on, man. Let's look. We can't compare. No. I knew you was gonna pull that card.
No. Let me ask you this.
I knew you was gonna pull that trump card.
Let me ask you this. Did you watch that fight between Floyd Sr. versus Ray Leonard? Did that?
Yeah, I did.
Did that?
Yeah, he beat the shit out of him.
Okay. Did that? Let me ask you this. Did that when he got shot in the leg prior to that fight? Did that have any effect at all with his movement against Ray Leonard? Did it?
Well, yeah, because he had to fight in the pocket more.
Oh no, it did. I did not see that. I did not see that.
He had to adapt. He had to adapt to that. He had to adapt. Okay. He had to adapt. Yeah, he did. That's what I'm saying to you. That trumps that argument.
No, it doesn't.
Trumps that. I knew he was going to bring that up. I actually thought he was going to bring that up first, but you thought you sneak that in. You was waiting for that all day. Yeah, I'm going to sneak that one in there, and I'm going to fuck him up with that. Nah. Look.
Come on, Charlie.
We can't. No. When you told me how we would beat him, and now you're trying to move the goalposts. We ain't gonna do that.
Well, let me ask you this.
The 147 version of Floyd, right? The count is a defensive Floyd, right? It's not the same offensive Floyd that was at 135, 140, beating up people, right?
Okay.
Floyd is that good that he's been able to have two careers in one, right? Super offensive, right? Or super defensive, whichever style you want, he's got that, right? Now, like I say, we go. Where do we want to start from? Because every time you keep shooting it down, Zab Judah.
Oh, you saying Zab Judah could beat Ray Leonard?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not answering that question. I'm talking about how we could have beaten.
Okay. Go ahead, break it down, brother.
The counter punching, his ability to fight in the pocket, his ability to adapt. I think he would have negated a lot of the strengths of Ray Leonard. He certainly wouldn't have chased Ray Leonard around the ring. and giving him that ability to just move and use lateral movement. Ray Leonard would have to stay in the pocket with him. Maybe he might flurry in and out, but either way, if you look at Floyd from Zab Judah onwards, he's a guy that stays in the center of the ring. He collects his data first round, second round, and then he starts to go to work and put on a clinic.
Okay. All right.
That's exactly what he does to Ray Leonard. It's not a question of, oh, he'll just wait till he tires and then knock him out. There's the possibility of that, but not only that. I just believe his defense, the way he's able to read punches and counter, his counter punching ability as well. That's how he beats Ray Leonard.
Okay.
But Ray Leonard would, although he had good stamina and everything else, he was just the guy that really flurried. He flurried a lot. And the crowd got excited. The crowd got excited by that.
Yeah, and also Ray Leonard also was very good to double up his jab and then sneak that right hand with it and follow up with a good hook to the body. He was very good at that. And I gotta ask you though. The question is, who did Floyd beat? So who did Floyd beat that could? Again, man, I have to ask you. So
no, that's not even a relevant question.
It is, man, because
Ray Leonard never fought anybody like Ray Leonard never fought anybody like Mayweather.
He did. He beat that style, bro.
No, he didn't, because his dad already had lost. No, don't look. Don't lie and thing, right? Floyd Mayweather retired undefeated. That's a very, very silly question to ask. If nobody's beat him, there's no blueprint to beating him, right?
Yeah.
The person who they say came the closest were those that had the highest work rates, right? The Cottos, the De La Hoyas, Zab Judah, they gave him a tough fight.
Wait, hold up. We're talking about 147 now. Did he fight those guys at 147? And they weren't in their prime, right?
All right, take out the. Well, that's what I'm saying. You're making it easier. Then you're making it easier for me to make my point. Then take away the people that gave him his worst one, his hardest fights. Let's just go to Madonna then and Manny Pacquiao. And what are you gonna say? They were washed up. They were this. They were that. They were still whipping asses.
Yeah, Madonna was limited, bro. Come on. It was limited. He can't be compared to to a damn Andy Price. I'm sorry.
Manny Pacquiao. I'm not comparing him to resumes. We're talking about the matchup.
Okay.
The stylistics.
All right.
At the end of the day, Manny Pacquiao, up until that point, he was whipping ass. Madonna, coming into that fight, had beaten Adrian Broner.
Okay.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. We can't debate. This person would Benitez have beaten this one. No. That's stupid. We're going off.
Oh, yes, we can. We can, because I'm telling you. I'm gonna tell you why we can. Because those guys have better. No, those guys were more. They have more pedigree than most of those guys that welterweight that Floyd fought in their prime, bro.
And most of them had losses on their record before they fought Leonard.
So they had
been in there, and they had been in there. Wait a minute, they had been in there with guys. No. They have no. Because when I'm trying to bring up certain fighters, you're saying, well, no, we can't bring up Cotto and we can't bring up you know what I mean, the Mosleys and all of that, because it don't make sense. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you this, Charlie. How many undefeated fighters that Floyd beat at welterweight? How many?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Just Ricky Hatton.
Yeah, that's one. And how many did Ray Leonard beat at welterweight undefeated?
I don't know. That's what you're there to tell me that.
I'll tell you that. It's 3. He beat 3 of them. Okay, now
show me.
I'll show you. Benitez, Hearns, and who was the other one? I think he did beat this guy who was early, who was undefeated in his
you're lying. You're thinking of the Ugandan.
No.
You're thinking of the Ugandan. Yes, you are. You're thinking of the Ugandan.
I'm not talking about Kalu.
That's the only undefeated fighter he beat.
No. There was another guy. There was another guy in his 5th fight. I think it was Augustine Ostrada. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So
you're
how many? No, I'm not lying. Look at
Augustine Ostrada had 12 losses on his record. Don't even go there. I've got that written down. I've actually got that circled. I knew you was. I got 3 names. Yeah. Funny you should say that. Augustine Estrada, Hector Diaz, and Rocky Ramon. I knew you was gonna try and pull some card like that.
Okay, well. You know what, I made a mistake. I got you there.
I'm reading you.
Okay, let me ask you this. All right, you got me there. I'll give you that one. All right, how many Hall of Famers and lineal champions did?
I don't know. I don't. We're not gonna go there. No. We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna do that because exploits after a career. No. Wait a second. Wait a second. Nah, Dan, I like you, but don't try that, man.
No, don't try that. Your argument is that you say his body of work. No, you're saying his body of work is better at welterweight. So I'm asking you these questions to prove that.
These guys became Hall of Famous after they had retired. You can't say that, man. And most of their best fights came after that.
All right,
you know what I mean? Most of them had it beaten out of them. That's why I just said to you, right, that you completely reject Cotto. Every time I bring up Cotto and De La Hoya, you reject those two fighters because you say it wasn't at the same weight. So okay, fair enough.
No, you did because you want to keep it at 147. That's what you did.
No, you gave me those were the guidelines that you gave to me.
No, I said we could do either or. We could go the whole scope. And you want to keep it at 147? You said
look, that, bro. Bruce Finch. We got Bruce Finch, Tommy Hearns, right? We got your Larry Bonds, your two Durans, Davey Boy Green, right? And Wilfred Benitez, right? Those are all title fights. Yeah. That's 6 title fights.
Okay.
Right? How many did Floyd have?
6 title fights. Oh, Floyd had many of them. I'll give you that one.
Right.
He had many of them. But that was yeah. Okay.
Let's go.
He did.
Yeah. Right. He didn't. Right. He didn't. So all right. So we're back to. So we're in agreement, right? So let me just get it right as well. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You say no, Cotto. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11 he had at welterweight. 11 title fights. Yeah?
No, Cotto was on a title fight at welterweight, bro.
I didn't say... no, Cotto would have made it 12.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. No Cotto, so it's 11.
Okay, yeah, 11 title fights at welterweight. Yeah, he did.
11 to really not 6 because he... Oh, yeah, you include the one he won. Yeah.
But let's be fair, though. Ray Leonard retired due to a serious injury. So that's why he couldn't really continue his career at welterweight for a long time.
This is another thing why I have to say to you, that's one of the main things. Detached retina.
Yeah.
How'd you get a detached retina?
How'd you get it?
By being hit, right?
You got hit
by being hit.
In sparring. Yeah, he got
by
hit.
Being hit. Yes. He got hit, right?
Yeah.
No defense. Hands low by his side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Being not very cautious, just being lackadaisical and getting a detached retina.
Yeah, but at the same time,
was he really beaten?
He was still hard to hit, though. Either way, he was very difficult to hit. And another point I want to add to those, the reason why Floyd has more title fights is because there's a lot more belts you could fight for. It is time, opposed to Leonard. That's the reason why.
You pulled that one out the bag quick, boy.
Yeah, that's the truth. I'm telling the truth. I just wanted to bring that point up before I let you finish. That's another point I wanted to bring up.
Boy. He had a detached retina.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he got it in the ring. Put it that way.
Yeah.
So his defense wasn't that good.
It was good. It was good. I wouldn't say he was a master.
His body didn't hold up the way. You can't get a detached retina unless you're careless.
Well, Floyd broke his hands many times. What do you think?
Yeah. But he had. This is a guy coming up from 135 to 147.
Okay, Leonard went up to always went to super middleweight. So okay.
Well, I'm saying the same thing to you. You know what I mean? When did the retina injury occur?
Before the Hearns fight, the first Hearns fight.
When was that?
That was in 1980. I know the fight happened in 1981. I think it happened 2-3 months before the actual fight happened.
Yeah.
When it was scheduled. So he went into that fight pretty injured. And he went through it, and the eye got got damaged again. So I know a lot of people want to give Hearns credit for that. Okay, fair enough. But the truth be told, it was injured prior to that fight. So
see, I've never heard that he was injured prior to that fight. I've always heard that he was injured during that fight. Now
he got injured. Definitely got injured during the fight, but the eye was already damaged before that.
So is it safe to say he was injured during that fight?
Yeah, he was. And there's no denying that. But the eye got
there you go. Because because the thing is, look, it's like this, right? Yeah. he had a retina tear, right? But he didn't have a retina detachment. He had a retina tear maybe before the fight, right?
Yeah.
But in that fight, it got detached. That was the whole. That's the thing that I'm saying, right? He comes back. He gets the top surgery because he's Sugar Ray Leonard. He comes back in 1982.
Right.
You can't really make that, and he beats Bruce Finch, yeah, for the same two titles that you know, your undisputed titles that you that you bring up.
Boy, that Floyd didn't win. Okay, but yeah, go ahead.
whatever. And then he takes 2 years out of the game. Yeah. And then his career is completely pants from there. All right, he beats. Well, we're not going to talk about Hagler, and we're not going to talk about Hearns after that. Yeah. But a lot of people dispute those two victories, especially the Hearns one. Well, the Hearns one was a draw.
The Jose Luis Castillo fight, the first fight, heavily disputed.
But that's not okay.
Yeah,
but he won that fight though.
Yeah, same thing with Leonard. So come on, we gotta be fair there. We gotta be fair.
Floyd won that fight, man.
Not the first fight. No, that is a heavily disputed fight. Disputed fight. Many people felt Castillo got robbed from that fight. Don't play yourself.
It's disputed by haters, man. It's disputed by haters.
It's disputed by haters, man.
It's disputed by haters.
There's people who were Floyd fans ejected to say that they thought Floyd lost that fight.
Was Castillo Dr. Point in that fight?
No, he wasn't. I don't recall. I don't quite remember. But I have to go back and check. But I do know.
Fight.
Yeah, I did watch it.
He won the fight, man. He won the fight. But it was close.
It was close. I'll give that. I thought Floyd lost that fight. Come on, man.
Nah, Floyd won that fight, and you know he did, man. No. Please watch that fight again, man. We're talking about his exploits at lightweight as well, at 135. Again, you want to keep going back to 135? A prime 135 Floyd destroys Leonard.
What?
Yeah?
What?
Yeah, you heard what I said. You heard what I said.
Oh my God, no.
See what I'm saying? Because yeah. The offensive Floyd is the same as the offensive Leonard that you talk about. Leonard fought one way. He had a good chin. I give you that. He took a lot of punishment against
Leonard could box on the back.
Wait a second. Yeah,
what are you talking about? He fought many ways.
Wait a second. We talk about Hearns. You talk about this great big victory. Didn't he get the shit kicked out of him?
Hey, he came back on that fight.
For a good 11 or 12. Yeah, because Tommy Hearns gassed out.
Yeah, exactly. Now, let me ask you this.
Tommy Hearns was drained in that fight.
Yeah, but that's Tommy Hearns, bro.
He was drained against Hagler.
That's a monster, bro. Come on, that was Tommy Hearns. Let me ask you this. Who did Floyd fight that was?
As hell, man.
No matter.
He have no legs,
man. He was a monster in that fight. First of all, he was a favorite to win that fight. Who did Floyd beat?
Anybody in the comment section, right? Anybody in the comment section.
Let me ask you this. Can you tell me who
knows that Tommy Hearns didn't have no legs?
No. Let me ask you this. Who was on the stature of Tommy Hearns that Floyd beat? Any fighter in the prime. Who did he beat that was on the stature of Tommy Hearns?
I keep bringing up names, but you keep saying, it's this, that, and the third. So I'm not gonna. We can't really bring up nobody. Stature. What do you mean stature?
Stature.
Fame, money, notoriety, or bodies. What are you talking about? I don't know. Like, what do you mean?
Exactly. What I mean is that
he beat Canelo, who was unbeaten, but he was over. Yes, he was.
Wait
a second. No, I'm not. You're saying stature. But wait a minute. You're saying stature.
Yes.
Right. Who did Hearns fight? All right. Let's go. We're going back to the point that I made earlier. Who did Hearns fight before he fought Leonard?
He fought Cuevas. He fought Cuevas. He fought let me see. He fought Cuevas and he fought Cervantes. He beat a couple of other world champions too before that fight. Yeah. Tommy Hearns did that.
He beat Cuevas. The only person he beat was Cuevas for the title, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And Randy Shields. That's it. That's the only two names he's got.
Well, Angel Espada was very good too. He beat him as well, and so was what's the other guy that he beat too?
He was good, but that was a non-title fight.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying he beat a guy.
When you're bringing up, no. You see, you can't do it because you're moving the goalposts. Every time I bring up an opponent, you say the same thing. But were those title wins? Was he a champion? So I'm holding you to your standards. Wait a minute. No. Let's talk about title. Let's talk about when Tommy Hearns was known to the whole world. You had to be a champion to be known, to have that stature, that you
Okay,
talk
you
about.
mean
I don't care
Mayweather.
about how many bums they knocked out. Nah,
What?
we're not going down that road. No, we're not going
Okay,
down that
Floyd
road
was premier of Manny
because
Shields,
bums. Wait,
Baez.
no.
Okay.
Let me tell you something about boxing, right? Which you know yourself.
Uh-huh.
When they're coming up, they put these bums in the ring with them to make them look good, to test their skills on to knock out. So if you're gonna say, oh well, he was, he had all these bodies, but they were like cab drivers.
Yeah.
That's not you can't bring that. Let's talk about Hearns, what he done. What WBA World Welterweight Championship against your Pepino Cavas, right? That was a big body for him, right?
Yeah.
He knocked him out in 2 rounds. That's what made Hearns.
Yes.
I don't care if he was known in Detroit. That's what made him, right?
Okay.
Then he fought some bum guy. Then he fought Randy Shields. Then he fought another bum. Then he fought Leonard.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
He was weight drained in that fight. Emmanuel Stewart admits it. Right?
Yeah.
He admits it. He was weight drained for that.
Is that Leonard's
He
fault?
also admits.
Was that Leonard's fault? Okay, then you can't blame Leonard for that.
I'm
Leonard was underdog in that fight, bro.
Wait a minute. So you admit he was weight drained.
I'm not admitting that. That's what you're saying.
I don't know. Wait.
I didn't say that.
You just said you just no. You just said is that Leonard's fault?
Wait, hold up.
So you acknowledge that he was weight drained.
Hold up. If you're gonna diminish Hearns at welterweight, you gotta do the same for Guerrero. You're giving Floyd full credit for that win. Robert Guerrero at welterweight is nowhere compared to Tommy Hearns at welterweight. If you're gonna do that,
he was already a 2-time.
Yeah, but what title fights did he have at welterweight before he fought Floyd? How many title fights did he have at welterweight? How many?
It doesn't matter. But this is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't. No. You're talking. No. You said 147. You're trying it. You're really trying it. You know.
No, I'm telling you at 147. I'm asking you, Guerrero. How many title
11
fights?
No. How many title fights? And we're breaking down the opponents. No, we're not. I'm not doing this. We're not doing that. You could do that with other people, but you can't do that with me. No, we're not doing that because you keep doing that. Tommy Hearns had 2 bodies before he fought Ray Leonard. He came in. You just admitted that he was weight drained. You just admitted it. You did. You conceded that he was because you said, "Is it?" Your words were, "Is it Ray Leonard's fault?" So you acknowledge that he right.
Oh,
so he was weight drained.
Don't put words in my mouth, Charlie. Don't do that. I did not admit that. No,
is it Ray Leonard's fault? That's what you said. Was it Ray Leonard's fault? That's what you said.
Okay, that
lay
case,
it back. You hear yourself say it.
No. Diego Corrales was weight drained when he fought Floyd Mayweather. Don't give Floyd credit for that win if you're gonna do that.
What win? Sorry, say that again.
Diego Corrales went down to 130 to fight Floyd, who was over 135.
We're talking about a different weight class. We'll talk about 147.
No,
we're not going there. No. We're not going there. You're trying it. We're talking about 147.
Charlie.
I know you're hurt. You know how I know you're hurt. Because you just admitted that
a drained Tommy Hearns at welterweight, but yet Floyd fought a drained Diego Corrales who had to come down another weight.
No. You just said 147. We're not going to do that.
No,
because you said to me initially, and your words were, I would have to concede before the hangout started. Earlier on today, you said you would concede. Actually, it was yesterday. Actually, you would concede the resumes because you understand Floyd has a more stellar resume because he's won titles at multiple weight classes.
Yeah, it looks stellar. I didn't say that, but I did say that. But also, no. Charlie. I did say that, but at the same time, I also say, you know what? We could also discuss some scope of the resume as well, because it will be brought up.
He has 3 bodies. He has 3 bodies, right? Leonard at 147, right? Right. That's Hearns, your savior Benitez, and Durant, right? Yeah. And he lost to Durant.
Yeah.
Right? He lost to Durant. Let's not, you know what I mean? You keep moving past that as well.
He avenged that loss, bro. So yeah, go ahead. He avenged it.
He avenged the loss, but you know what I mean? He got he got the shit beat out of him at 147. Now, the reason why you keep saying, "Oh, could this person have held up? Could that person have held up?" Right? So in a way, you're saying, because if I take your logic of, "Oh, would this person have held up against that person?" Are you saying then effectively Duran beat a prime Leonard?
I think.
Is that what you're saying?
Well, wait, hold up.
He did, didn't he?
He beat Brian Leonard. Yeah, he did. He beat him.
Is he better than Leonard?
No.
Right. right. I'm trying to understand the logic, you see.
Yeah, he's not. He's not better than Leonard.
Right. So how would he match up to a guy that's unbeaten?
Wait. Hold up. Floyd, who's unbeaten, who admitted that he's going to carefully select his opponents in the later stage of his career? I mean, first of all, I'm just saying. I'm asking you. First of all, I asked you this question. You didn't want to answer it. Who did Floyd beat that was on that? Who was just?
I'm not answering that. We're not good because
on, man. You got
no, because it trumps. It trumps. No, you know why? Because if I answer that, it's just the same as me saying, well, then technically, Hearns was better than him.
What?
Duran was better than him.
What? No,
that's what you're saying.
No, Charlie, that makes no sense, bro.
Well, they beat him, though. They both beat him, though.
When I'm telling you that, the point of this argument is that Ray Leonard at welterweight fought better opposition than Floyd did. That's what he did. No,
that wasn't it.
He did.
No. We wasn't debating that. We was debating who would. We was breaking down the resumes. Yeah. We was breaking down the resumes, and then we started to get into who would beat who.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
That's what we was talking about. You was talking about the hand speed, blah blah blah. Then every single time I start, you come with, well, who on Floyd's resume is like this? Who on Leonard's resume is like Floyd? And don't say his dad. Yeah, because his dad had already lost. Wait a minute. His dad had already lost and already had taken some shots.
Well, yeah, I get that. The reason why I brought it up is because we haven't seen him in the ring with a guy with that stat.
Exactly. It's a silly question to ask both of us. For you to ask me and for me to ask you. I was just trying to point that out.
But furthermore, I would say is that Ray Leonard fought that style before and other styles along with it. So he was already proven in that situation. That's why I'm asking, why would you think Floyd would beat Ray Leonard? That's what I'm asking.
I know because he's unbeaten, and I'm explaining to you his resume, and that he had two careers in one. I said, because remember you said 147, so now I have to pull into all his exploits at 135 and 140.
That's right. That's fine.
Which Floyd do you want? Do you want the one that's super offensive, or the one that's super defensive?
It doesn't matter.
What I'm doing is I'm taking away the super defensive, the super offensive Floyd, and I'm just giving you the newer version in the latter stages of his career, because the guy is unbeaten. Nobody was able to beat him, and this is what I'm trying to say. When you're comparing a man that's been beaten, and he was beaten more times than his record suggests, especially against Thomas Hearns, your savior, your messiah. The guy who was weight drained, a guy who Hagler had up. You know what I mean? That's why you can't compare. When you say, oh, well, this opponent, how would he have fared against that one? That's stupid. That's a silly argument.
No, not Charlie. No, it's not.
We'll never know. We'll never know.
Yes, it is. Prove himself against a style like that.
Yes, it is. Because I could say, because I know for a fact that De La Hoya, Mosley, and Cotto. I know that De La Hoya, Mosley, and Cotto, right? They could have stood up with any of those opponents. So could Pacquiao.
They could have.
In respective weight classes, whatever catch weights, whatever the case may be, they would have all held up. I'm not saying that they would have beaten. No. Don't put words in my mouth. I'm not saying they would have beaten them or lost.
I'm just asking a question.
I'm just saying they would have held up. A lot of his opponents would have held up. The Madanas, the Cotto. But when I brought up Cotto, you completely rejected that. No. That's 154. And then you tried to. So it's like, well,
dude, the whole point of Floyd being unbeaten because he strategically selected his opponents. He doesn't deny that, bro.
and you're going on as if what you call him, the same thing with Leonard, like he didn't perfectly select Hagler when he saw Hagler slipping up against Mugabe.
I admit that he did that, but who was more blatant?
All the fragilities in him against Hagler.
Here's the difference here. Leonard wasn't blatant when he did that. Floyd did. He did that. He openly admitted that.
No, Leonard was blatant. He was there ringside. He was there ringside. Chilling, drinking his champagne, and then he said, "Right, you know what? I can beat this guy."
Yeah, he did.
And then he came in, and what he done is that he ran. He got beat the shit. He did run. He did run. He did run in that
Okay.
fight.
Floyd ran against
He
Carl
only was
Hernandez.
landing punches. Wait a second.
Yeah,
He was only landing punches in the final minute, the final third of each round.
Okay.
And that's what and along with the crowd cheering for him and everything, because he was booed on the way in. I respect that, and he was cheered through the fight. There was a great need and a great push for him to win as well, right? There was many factors about that fight. There's some people, like I said, you go into any barbershop in Britain and it's split in half as to who won that fight.
Again, yeah, I understand. Same thing with Castillo. Same thing
wasn't that welterweight.
Same thing with Castillo.
Nah. I don't think people. No. I don't think people in the barbershops in Harsden are worried about if you even bring up Castillo, they'll say Floyd won.
Oh, come on, man.
Hagler Leonard is not the same as Castillo Mayweather. Not the same at all.
No, but the fact that you're arguing is that, again, the fact is that Floyd admitted this on publicly many times, and at the same time disrespected legends before him. That's what I had a problem with. But I know he's retired now. I moved beyond that. But the fact is that the whole point of this argument is that, yes, we would debate who could be who, but at the same time, it's also worth mentioning that who's been more tested in a situation like this. I'm not saying Floyd's never been tested. What is also worth pointing out is that he didn't take those. Wait, hold on.
Go on.
He didn't take those type of risks that Leonard did early in his career. Leonard took on a monster of Tommy Hearns. And he took on a very prime and good.
Don't go there. No. Don't try and diminish Genaro Hernandez.
I know Genaro Hernandez. I give Floyd credit for that. But who did he? Who did he? No. Who did he fight after that? That was just as just because and Hernandez was within a short period of time. Who did he fight after?
And Angel Manfredi.
No, he can't be compared to Durant. Is that what you're trying to do?
No. We're talking about bodies. We're talking about bodies that were good.
Manfredi's not a body. Forget that. He was not a body. Forget that. You telling me Manfredi could be better than Andy Price? Please, come on, man.
Was he a world champion? Was he a former world champion before that?
No, Angel Manfredi was not a world champion.
Was he a former? So what was it? So, but was he a good fighter?
He was a good fighter, but he was not better than no damn Andy Price. I'll tell you that.
So you're telling me when he came into that ring, he didn't have a world title of sorts around?
He did not have a world title. He did not have a world title.
Not a recognized, not even a sanctioning body that wasn't recognized.
Dude, Andrew Manfredi was not. He fought for world titles, but he never won one.
I'm going to tell you this, right? Okay, all right. So then you're diminishing Ricky Hatton then, because
I'm not.
I'll tell you why. Let me explain why. Ricky Hatton held the WBU title, right? That's not a known belt, but he was still a world champion, right? I don't agree with it. I'm just saying. Angel Manfredi held that title before he came into the ring against Floyd that night. So he was a world champion of sorts. I'm just saying, I don't agree in the sanctioning body. I'm just saying, he weren't just some nobody that came there.
That recognition? You're gonna give the WBO?
I'm not giving. You see, you're putting words in my mouth. I just said 3 times before I finished saying what I was saying. I don't agree at all that is a thing. But what I'm trying to say is, you got a person like Ricky Hatton who built a career off of that one belt before he started winning real legitimate titles, right? Yeah. And so I'm saying, if you're diminishing Manfredi, then you're diminishing Ricky Hatton. Then
I'm not diminishing Ricky Hatton.
Some silly
I never said Adrian Manfredi was a bad fighter.
Manfredi was a body. He was a body then.
Oh, no, he was not. He was a good fighter. He was not a body. He was a good fighter.
And I'll tell you this as well.
No, he was a good fighter.
And I'll tell you this as well. Wait a minute.
Hold on, man. All I'm saying is,
I'm trying to get to the point that you. Wait a minute. No, you asked me who else. So let me finish telling you who else, and then you can say what you want to say. Emmanuel Augustus as well. Yes, he was a journeyman. Please watch the fight. He gave Floyd one of his toughest fights in his career.
All right, Emmanuel Augustus went into the fight with more than 20 losses on his record. And he
didn't have more than 20 losses. Don't lie.
Hold on. Hold on.
He had a lot of losses. He was in double figures, but he wasn't. It wasn't 20. Don't try and make it out. No, he didn't.
Well,
he had 20 wins and he had about 15 losses. Right?
Okay, it was close. 16 losses.
Yeah,
it was close.
Okay,
losses.
4 draws.
Yeah, I was close. But
you cannot deny. Listen, you cannot deny that he did not give Floyd his toughest test. He made Floyd miss. He was able to counter Floyd. He was able to hang in there, and then Floyd had to really put the clinic on him and give him a beating. Please watch that fight again.
I see that fight, but
please watch that fight.
Who did May Augustus beat? That's worth note.
I'm not saying we're not. See, I'm not here to debate that.
Come on, man.
See, this is no. It's silly. That's a silly thing. No. Because you see, when you bring up arguments like that, right? It's like you diminish. So okay, because Ray Leonard beat Hagler on that night, right? That diminishes everything that Hagler had achieved before that.
No, he did not.
By your logic. Then don't bring that up. Don't bring that up. Because you know that's a good point.
It's a light year fighter better than Augustus, man, or Angel Man Freddy, man. But come on, let's be real.
I'm talking about I'm talking about a lot of them losses that Augustus has got were robberies as well.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Right. Okay. So you know what I mean? At least what, 10 of them?
I'll say about at least less than 10. Especially that Courtney Bird fight. That was a disgrace. I remember
that he fought Diego Corrales. That's a body. Not a body?
That was a body,
right?
Yeah.
Castillo, back to back. Are those not bodies?
That's a body. Yep.
DeMarcus Corley.
Nah, that ain't no body.
No, that's not a body.
No. I like Chop Chop.
Defensive fighters.
No. Okay. What Chop Chop? No. Chop Chop was okay.
He was just shit. Yeah, he was just shit.
Okay. He was an okay fighter. He was an okay fighter. Okay.
All right then. Okay. And then what about Arturo Gatti? He was just shit as well, isn't it?
Well, look, Floyd was. I mean, look. Human punching
You're
bag.
Something else, you know.
Yeah, human punching bag. I mean, Arturo Gatti was a warrior. I get that.
No, he made him into a punching bag.
Nah, he was a punching bag before that. Come on, Mickey Ward exploited that. No, Charlie. Ivan Robinson and Mickey Ward exploited Arturo Gatti way before Floyd did it. Arturo Gatti was already damaged goods before to that fight. Floyd knew that. He was chasing.
He beat Mickey Ward twice, man. He beat Mickey Ward twice. Don't try it. He lost to Mickey Ward, right? De La Hoya had beaten him, right? No, he lost to De La Hoya beat him a technical knockout. He was saved by the referee, right? Yeah. If Gatti had his way, he would have finished out that fight. He would have gone the 12 rounds. He wasn't badly cut. He wasn't. It wasn't a body shot.
He was badly beaten up by De La Hoya. That was a massacre.
It wasn't badly cut to his vision was impeded or nothing like that. The referee came in and stopped it and saved De La Hoya.
No, dude,
based on Gatti, based on what we know, based on what we know of Gatti. Yes, I did. Based on what we know of Gatti, right?
Yeah.
The referee stopped that fight. Gatti did not want that fight stopped.
Of course not, but he was still getting beaten.
Right. All right. So all right. So then we go to Ward, who beat him. What was it? A majority decision, yeah?
Yeah.
You're saying that he knocked the stuffing out of Gatti, right?
He was beat.
But then what happened to Ward after that?
Monster shots in those 3 fights, man. Those
what
guys
happened to Ward after that?
Wait, hold up. Let me just say this. The Ward fights really took a lot out of Gatti. Particularly before that was Ivan Robinson, okay? Gotti was already good. Dude, Floyd even said himself that Gotti was a human punching bag. He said it. He did say that, dude. He said that in an interview. He chased him because I'm telling the truth. He chased him because that was a money fight.
You know how I know you're deep, right? You know how I know you're deep, right? First of all, right? He was trained by Buddy McGirt, yeah? He improved after that fight. He beat Mickey Ward 2 unanimous decisions after that, right? Okay. Then he beat 2 unbeaten fighters on the trot. One for the vacant WBC title, which was what's that guy, that Italian guy, Gianluca Bronco, right?
Yeah.
And then he knocked out Leonard Dorin, right? Who was also unbeaten at the time. Yeah. Then he beat Jesse James Leha. Yeah. You're gonna say he was a shit fighter?
Jesse James Leha was an okay fighter. He was a decent fighter.
He was a pretty good body. Would have beaten Davey Boy Green, I tell you that. Then he came into the he would have.
I don't know about that.
He would have. Yeah, he would have. Yeah, he would have. He would have outboxed him comprehensively. Yes, he would have. Then he fought Mayweather.
Okay.
So don't say that. No. Don't try and diminish Mayweather's arguably one of his best clinics. Don't try that.
Dude, Floyd said that himself. He said it himself.
You ask anybody in their 40s, right? You ask anybody in their 40s, right? What was the most vicious time you see Mayweather in the ring? They'll say the Arturo Gatti fight.
Oh, they don't forget anybody
the fight.
The De La Hoya fight, that was a massacre. Okay, if anybody disagrees with that, you're crazy. De La Hoya massacred Gotti.
Listen, nobody knew about
Massacred
Gatti.
that.
Nobody,
He
man.
massacred the
Look.
man. Come
Gatti
on,
came
dude.
onto the map. No. Gatti was not brought onto the map because of De La Hoya.
I
I
know
don't care
that.
what you say. He was brought onto the map because of Ward, and then Buddy McGirt trained him, like I just said, made him a better fighter than what he is. And then he came into the fight against Mayweather. It was Mayweather that made Gatti. Nobody really knew about him. It wasn't until Floyd made him look like that.
Right. Well,
He beat him so badly that Sylvester Stallone, if you remember it, he comes into the ring afterwards. He doesn't even want to congratulate Mayweather.
Well, let me just.
Yeah, you can see the hate in his eyes, right?
Yeah.
So don't tell me, don't try and diminish that victory. I'm sorry, man. I'm not having it, man.
No. Here's the thing. No, I know
Ask
you ain't
any
having
of the
it.
young kids.
I know you ain't
Ask
having
any
it.
of the young
But let
kids
me just
in
say this.
gyms
Buddy
across the world.
McGirt,
They'll tell you that's one of the best times they've seen Floyd Mayweather in the ring. You can't diminish that.
well, he did look.
I
say that.
I haven't seen Ray Leonard do that.
No, let me just. No, Oscar De La Hoya did that. You know, if you want to talk about Ray Leonard, okay, he gave Price. He destroyed Andy Price. Now that was bad. Okay. All right. Now another thing, I will say this though. If you want to talk about Buddy McGirt, a trainer can only do so much to a fighter who's already been through wars. Can he make some adjustments in his technique? Absolutely. But it doesn't take away the fact that the fighter himself could have slowed down. Okay. And Bugatti definitely slowed down after those awards with Robinson and Ward. He definitely slowed down. There was definitely a lot of signs there. And again, I have to go back to the point. Floyd even said himself he chased that fight because it was a money fight and Gotti was a punching bag. He said that himself, man, in many interviews leading up to it. That is a fact. Did Floyd look great in that fight? Absolutely. But the fact is that we knew he was going to win that fight.
That's not the case. At the end of the day, he had beaten en route to that. He'd won a world title. What do you mean? He'd won a world title, and he'd beaten en route to that. He'd beaten two unbeaten fighters. Whichever way you want to chalk it up.
Yeah, he did defend that title.
So yeah, he did defend it. He won the WBC, and then he defended it against the other unbeaten fighter. Then he fought Mayweather.
He did not defeat that 140 title. No, he didn't. He beat Gotti and vacated and moved up. He didn't defend that title.
I'm not talking about Mayweather. I'm talking about Gatti. So you're jumping.
Oh, okay.
You're jumping ahead. Yeah, I'm talking about Gatti.
Okay.
Yeah. You see, you're not listening, and that's why some of the people in the comment section are answering. I'm reading it now, and they're not listening. They're just getting things mixed up. You know what I mean? Just hear what I'm saying. Gatti, don't try and diminish Gatti. That's what you're trying to do. Oh, he was an easy body. No. Mayweather made him. He made him look like an easy body.
No, Mayweather said himself before that fight.
Easy money. Just because somebody's no. Just because somebody says I can make a lot of money off this opponent, it don't mean that he trained any less than he would have normally trained.
Dude, he said.
You really think he was drinking liters of coke?
No, Floyd's a disciplined fighter. No. Floyd is always no. I'm not taking away Floyd's discipline. I know he's a disciplined fighter. Right. I'm reading what the man said.
We're going to get into that.
No, you're dismissing what he said. He said it many times. Gotti was a punching
bag. I don't really care about what he said when it regarding money, because because money. No. Wait a second. We said that we wouldn't bring up money. Remember?
Because, he said it was a punching bag. I just said that he chased it because it was a big money fight. Cool. I got no problem with that. Every fighter's got to do that. I got no problem with that because you got to get paid, right? But what I'm saying is that he said many times that was going to be an easy fight for him to go into. He said it himself, bro. Everybody expected him to win that fight. Dude,
you're something else, you know. The way you keep flipping and boy,
flipping, dude. Dog, you doing a lot more flipping, bro. Come on, you can't. You're my brother, man, but you're doing a lot of flipping.
You are flipping it deeply,
but
it's all good.
It's all good, man. You're my brother, man. This is a fun debate. We keep it respectful.
No, but all right. So let's talk discipline.
Yes.
As well, because that's another factor for me. Also the mental attributes as well. Because boxing is 80% mental, whether people believe that or not. Yeah, the battle's won inside the mind first, and then in the gym, and then in the ring, right?
Right.
And yet again, we're dealing with a guy who's unbeaten. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your Messiah, Ray Leonard, has, as far as I'm concerned,
my Messiah.
losses. Yeah, he's got 3 losses on his record. If you include the Tommy Hearns loss, because he did lose to Hearns, that second fight.
Fight on record, man. But you can't do that. But go ahead. You can't change this.
No, I know. I can't change the history books. right?
Yeah.
But I think most people agree that he lost that fight, right?
Okay, if you're gonna do that,
Even Leonard himself.
You gotta say that about Castillo, bro. If you're gonna do that, you gotta say the same thing about Castillo.
There's no comparison. If
It is
you watch, no, right. I'm gonna urge the people. I'm gonna challenge the people in the comment section, not the ones who have boxing knowledge, those who maybe haven't watched that fight. Please watch the first Mayweather and Castillo fight. Turn down the sound and judge it, and then watch the Ray Leonard, the second fight, not the first fight, the second fight with Tommy Hearns. Turn down the sound again, because like I said, the commentators, they were biased, that they were in favor of Castillo, right? What? It depends on which feed. It depends on which feed, right? Okay. When you watch some feeds, they're more biased towards Mayweather. When you watch others, they're more biased towards Castillo, right?
Right.
And I'm just going to say that. So turn down the sound and score it. Same thing with Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns. They are blatantly biased towards Ray Leonard all through that fight. But anyway, yes, they are. Well, and you've got Hagler. You've got Hagler sitting there hating as well.
He hated on Leonard, man. He was hating.
Yeah. He was hating. So that's why I said turn down the sound so that you're not swayed either way. And you tell me which one was a robbery. Mm-hmm. Okay, or which, if you agree they were both robberies, right? Tell me which one was a more of a blatant robbery out of those two fights, because that's the only way. We can't just keep saying that. You keep pulling the Castillo card, and at the end of the day, Floyd is unbeaten.
That's a controversial fight. Many people
he's unbeaten.
We should have gotten that decision.
Leonard is not unbeaten. So let's talk about discipline.
Yeah, well, there's a reason why he's unbeaten, because he fought tough.
Yeah, because he's a cocaine. addict.
See, there you go. Why you gonna do
Let's
that?
talk about that.
No,
let's talk about.
No, if you gonna do that, we're gonna bring up Floyd's past. We want me to bring that up?
Let's bring up Floyd's past.
Charges, all that stuff, bro. Okay. Well, let's be real. We can't be bringing their personal issues into this, man. Let's stick to what.
Why not? No. We're not talking about. No. Wait a minute. Oh, just 1 second. Now I'll allow you this, right? Look, if we're talking about how they've treated other individuals, Leonard's done the same things that Floyd's done.
Yeah.
Leonard didn't. He just didn't go to prison for them. If we're going to talk about wifey arguments, beatings, whatever, right? Leonard did the same thing, you know.
Well, did he beat his wife? I know I heard some rumors about it.
But she just didn't report it and go public with it, and he didn't go prison. So they both had issues. Now, right? Let's talk about the abuse to their body, though, because that does play a part, right?
No, it doesn't. Man,
yes, it does. So what? Drugs don't play a part. Drugs don't diminish you. No.
Well, first of all, drugs do diminish you, but let me ask you this.
Right. So discipline.
I say beating up women is the same thing, right? Doesn't it?
It ain't going to diminish you, though, is it? It ain't going to diminish you, though, is it? Let's be real. Like, I'm not trying to be insensitive to any women out there. I'm just saying, right? That, like, honestly, we're talking about the two of them. The discipline is a big part of boxing. That's what it is. It's a disciplined sport. It's a contact sport.
Yeah, but you can't bring
Ray Leonard was a coke.
You cannot do that.
He was a coke freak. Yeah, he was. Yeah, I'm doing it. He was a coke freak. He was not just once in his career, many times through his career.
No. Did that affect his fighting ability? Did it do it? Did him being a cokehead have anything to do with his skills diminished?
Boy, I don't know, boy. Maybe I don't know, because it would take a lot to get in the ring with some of the people that.
Like I'm saying, you can't bring that up, man. You try to slander the man to get your point across.
I'm not trying to slander the man. I'm telling the truth.
That's fine, but
Floyd Mayweather never abused his body, and I just believe that if, in terms of them two fighting in the ring, a guy with coke in his system at his peak against the guy with a clean temple, I know which one I'm going with.
Okay, well, then you can bring that up, but you have no evidence that had anything to do with his fighting ability in the ring, whether it diminished him. You have no evidence.
Well, yeah, but he's got 3 losses, though.
That don't mean nothing. You win some.
So there are aspects of his mentality that are fragile. No. You have to, because Floyd is unbeaten.
Okay,
you can't.
Yeah, he's unbeaten. But did Floyd take on a Terry Norris type of fighter? Did he do that? No, he did
We're
not.
not.
He did. He
Who
take
asked
on
him to take on? Yes, he took on Canelo. No, no, no. Don't
a,
try that now. See,
don't,
no. Because when I brought up Cotto,
if you
when
gonna
I
say
brought up De La Hoya, and when I brought up Canelo, you
if you
said
gonna say,
take them out of the
no,
take
no,
them
no,
out of the equation.
no,
So
no.
no, he has
That's
fought
fine.
those
We're
type
gonna
of
do that.
opponents. He
If
has.
you're gonna say Canelo, if you're gonna say Canelo can match up to Terry Norris, you out your mind. Canelo's got.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
He's not.
Terry Norris was a guy who campaigned at super middleweight and light heavyweight, right? I'm not talking about a guy that's way, way over the odds. You just said what type of Terry Norris?
Terry Norris was a light
He did
middleweight.
fight. He did
He was
fight
light
guys who were bigger
was
than
light
him.
middleweight.
He did go up. He did it against De La Hoya. He did it against Cotto, and he did it against Canelo. And you're trying to diminish that. No, we ain't about to do that. No. We're not doing that.
I'm not diminishing that, bro. Now again, you made error. First of all, Terry Norris never fought at super middleweight. He fought at light middleweight. Okay, Leonard came down to 154 to take that fight. Okay, and got battered in that fight. Okay, but the fact
Who
is,
came down? Who came down?
Leonard did. He came down to 154.
Oh, he came down. Sorry. I'm thinking of the person who we fought before that. Sorry.
Right, when I'm saying that, yeah, Floyd did not
He
fight.
fought, no. Sorry.
He never fought a Terry Norris type of fight.
No. Wait a minute. I just want to correct myself as well for anybody listening. He fought Thomas Hearns at super middleweight and Roberto Duran. The third Roberto Duran fight was at super middleweight. Yeah. Right. I just want to get that right.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Okay, there you go.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Cotto Canelo are not on the level of Terry Norris at 154. I'm sorry, man. You can't compare that, man. I'm sorry. They're not. They're not. The fact is, yeah, Leonard got losses, but he took risks getting out of his losses. As a fighter, he did. He took more dangerous risks. Early in his career, he did that. Okay? And yeah, he paid a price for that with a detached retina. So I'm just telling you,
Wait a minute. Right. Let's talk about this great Terry Norris. Right. He beat John Mugabe.
Right.
Washed up?
Yeah, washed up.
Was he washed up? Yeah, he was washed up.
Yeah.
Right? Who did he beat after that? You don't know.
Ray Leonard.
But you don't. Before Ray Leonard. Okay, he fought a bum, right?
He fought a bum, yeah.
Then he fought Ray Leonard. Who did he fight after Ray Leonard?
Donald Curry.
Right. How many losses did Donald Curry have in his record?
Total or before going into that fight?
Total.
6 losses total.
And before going into that fight?
4.
Right. So, really, was he really a killer?
I mean, he beat undefeated Carl Daniels, knocked him out, stopped him. Carl Daniels and Carl Daniels.
Canelo was undefeated. Slow feet, yes. Overhyped, yes. But undefeated.
Yeah, okay. So what?
Yeah.
Are you saying Canelo is just as good as Terry Norris?
Listen, all the things. No. Because what you see, what you keep doing, you've done this a lot of times in this debate today, right? You talk about people's career after they fought Leonard, what they went on to achieve, right?
Yeah.
You not talk about the fighter they were before they fought Leonard. So you're just saying, oh, because such and such was a Hall of Famer, and with 7 losses on their record, but you're diminishing everything they did. No. Let's talk about what they did.
I'm talking about that
Leonard.
No, I'm talking about Leonard took on prime risks early in their careers, and they did end up having great careers after that. After they went through those guys.
Look,
okay,
Canelo. I just admitted to you that Canelo was overrated, right?
Okay.
But he did win. He won a vacant title. Fair enough. Well, I give you that. But he fought 4 times that year, regardless of this, that, and a third. He beat whoever was put in front of him, whoever was in that top 15, right? Yeah. You have to be in the top 15 to be in the WBC title fight, regardless, right? He beat all of those guys. He beat a Shane Mosley. He beat a Josecito Lopez. And we don't agree. Like I said, I'm just saying, en route to Mayweather, I thought Austin Trout beat him, right? Honestly, at one point, right? I do think he was beaten by him, right? But comprehensively, either way, he was given the victory. Austin Trout was unbeaten at the time en route to that. Then he fought Mayweather, right? Yeah. Terry Norris.
Well, let me ask you this, though, because I want to ask you this question, because you say that, well, Ray Leonard got losses, so that makes Floyd better. Well, let me ask you this. Who do you think is, I'm just as an off, one-off question. Who do you think is the greatest fighter of all time, in your opinion?
That's another conversation for another time.
Okay, okay. So
I can't
basically,
answer that right now because there's so many good ones.
well, I understand that, but my point is that just because you don't take losses doesn't mean you're greater than the other fighter, man. That's my whole point. When I'm saying that,
I just think I'll be real with you though. I think
yeah,
in this case, with two fighters that are commercially very similar, possibly Ray Leonard was probably more of a superstar than, or more loved than Mayweather was.
yeah,
I
true.
mean, you're talking as if to say Leonard never really got any gifts through his career.
Oh, he
Never
did.
was,
I
never
mean, he
was.
did. He did. He got a couple of
Yeah,
gifts.
yeah,
He did.
and the press weren't, very. I mean, yes, there was some times where the press were against him, but he did have the press. He did have the support of the networks and everything else at the time. So it wasn't. We're not dealing with someone who was completely hated.
Yeah.
Right? Who was completely hated and then had to build up a career off of negative energy, basically, right? Off
Well,
of
of
people's
course.
hate and everything.
Why was
So,
Floyd hated? Why do you think Floyd was
so
hated? Why do you think he was hated?
no, because he knew. No. He did things in order to piss people off.
Exactly.
Very
Exactly.
simple-minded people. Wait a second, very simple-minded people, because
Yeah.
he knew that they would turn up to watch him get beat, and that never occurred.
Okay.
So that takes a lot of mental strength. That's another reason why I believe if we're talking about the battle of the minds, the 80% of the battle, Floyd beats Ray Leonard.
Well, that's what you and I disagree.
He beats him in it. Let's talk about it. Just imagine the press conference.
Yeah.
Right. I know who's getting into whose head leading up into that. Floyd would.
Okay.
All the jewels, all the women, the things, the braggadocio, all that would get to Leonard.
Mm.
That would get to Leonard. Leonard didn't even like it when Hagler was putting it on him.
Exactly.
Let alone so you know what I mean? He didn't like it when no, Hearns was a bit respectable. I will say Hearns. No, actually Hearns didn't like him either. He didn't like it when Duran though put it on him.
Yeah. Well, you have
Yeah.
to understand one thing.
So the mental aspect, you would. I already know you've conceded, but I hope
Now, the mental aspect, I would say Ray Leonard will win that fight because he proved himself against tough competition against that in that weight class with 3 Hall of
but
Famers.
he lost.
He did.
The first time.
He lost that fight,
he was
yes, but he
challenged by
avenged that
somebody
loss.
who didn't care, who didn't give a damn about him, didn't give a damn about his gold medal, who didn't give a damn about all his exploits up until that date. That was Roberto Duran. Floyd Mayweather would have done. I'm not saying he would have been as as fierce as Duran, but he certainly would have got to him the same way.
That's your opinion because we haven't seen Floyd in a ring with a guy like Duran. So I'm just saying.
But he's been in there with pressure fighters, though. Has he not?
As good as Duran. Are you serious?
We're not saying. I'm not saying as good as Duran. But then again, you know what I mean. Again,
come on, Charlie.
Let's go back to the. Let's go. No. What do you mean? Come on. Duran's got losses on his record.
How many losses did he have going into that Leonard fight? How many did he have?
He was 71. His record was, what was it? 71. He only had 1 loss.
Exactly. And what did he do prior to that? And what did he do prior to that?
He done some stuff.
He done some stuff. Oh, bro, he was undisputed champion.
Yeah, I know.
No. He was an undisputed champion.
So you're saying that Duran's better than Leonard then?
I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying that. I'm telling you of the pedigree of Duran. He was an undisputed champion. No. Just like Leonard, he was an undisputed champion. He cleaned out his division, and he beat 4 Hall of Famers in that division at lightweight. Okay, he did those
twice
things
today, man. See, when I want to romanticize about the records of Floyd's opponents, you're saying no, we can't do that. We can't have Cotto. Oh no, we can't have De La Hoya. Oh no, we can't have this.
Charlie, I gave you the freedom to do it. All I'm asking you is, all I asked you the whole day, which you try to avoid as much as you can, name any of those guys that can match up to those guys that Leonard fought and beat.
But we're not here to talk about that. We're seriously not. We can't. That's a silly.
No, Charlie, we got to because you're saying
even if I say to you, nobody could, right?
No,
I
Charlie,
don't
listen to me.
know. I'm not here to dissect opponent versus opponent. I'm here to dissect
I
Floyd
get you.
versus Ray Leonard. Now
Yeah,
let's
the
go
reason
back
why
to the mental.
let me.
Let's
Okay,
go
I hear
back
you.
to the mental aspect, right?
I
The
get you.
mental
Before
aspect of it.
you do that, the reason why I brought this up is because you're trying to convince people that you try to convince people, and you believe it. And I believe you that you believe that Floyd Jr. could beat Sugar Ray Leonard at 147.
And
Fair enough.
prime Mayweather.
Yeah, fair
Whichever
enough.
way you look
The
at it.
argument is that this is based off your suggestions, but the truth of the matter is that Floyd has not fought anyone that was on the stature of Leonard, has not fought anyone at welterweight that was on the stature of the guys that Leonard fought at
He's
welterweight.
never fought anybody on the stature of Leonard. So who was De La Hoya then?
De La Hoya was at once. Okay, De La Hoya was past his best
Come on, man.
at
He was
welterweight.
past his best.
Yes, he was
He
past his
didn't go
best.
with Freddie Roach. He didn't have the best training camp of his life and
No
give
matter,
Floyd a
he
hard
was
fight.
past his best. That dude been
So
through
he was
wars. He was
part.
already knocked out. He was knocked out at
Here we
middleweight.
go. All right
He
then.
was knocked
So
out
let's
at middleweight.
All right then.
Yeah.
Okay then. So
I
let's
still give Floyd credit for that win. I still give Floyd credit for that win. I still give him credit for that win.
Right. Let's talk about De La Hoya in his prime then.
Okay.
Right.
We got to give
it's the same guy in the ring. No, we're not going to do that. You're doing that. You've done that.
Okay, let's go ahead.
Time today, right? You're deep. But I like what you do. No, because it's like you're saying the same thing, but then when I'm trying to explain, well, you're saying the stature. Well, we're not worried about stature. Let's talk about ability. I can't be here dissecting this opponent, how he would have matched up against that opponent. Because what we've got here is a guy who's unbeaten. And I don't think you want to accept that. If Floyd had lost, then I could say, yeah, that guy, he would never have lived with that guy. But the guy hasn't lost.
Okay. Well, why hasn't he lost?
He's comprehensively beaten. You're going to say what? Because he's a cherry picker.
Well, I'm asking you, why do you think he hasn't lost?
I know because he's a great fighter. Because he's a great boxer. That's He's a great defensive fighter. He was a great offensive fighter. He's the most complete fighter there's been for a long time. I'm telling you that Ray Leonard, not Sugar Ray Leonard, Ray Leonard, that's his real name, right? The man, the mere mortal that he is. Forget about stature because, like I said to you, we said, no, wait a minute. We said earlier, right? Not me. You said you would concede that Floyd, because we don't want to talk money now. Do we really? We don't really want to talk money.
Of course, Floyd got a lot of money. He got more than Ray Leonard. We all know that.
I think that plays a big part, and that's probably what's blinding you when you're making your decisions.
Oh,
there might be not hatred. I don't think that you hate Floyd, but I believe that you bitter the glitter a bit.
I give you credit when credit's I don't hate the dude's lifestyle. So here you go, bring that up again. Come on, that's been semantics. Come on, man. First of all, let me tell you this. I said I've been on record many times. I don't like the dude? Absolutely, I don't like the guy. But I respect what he did in his ring. He had a very good career. I'm not taking that away from him. He had very good wins in his career. I'm just saying that. All I'm asking you is that, again, man, if you believe that he had a better run at welterweight than Ray Leonard, which I disagree with, and that's your opinion, but I'm going to ask you is that who did he beat that was great at welterweight?
We've answered.
I know, but the question he hasn't.
And then the thing is, what we would have to do is then go back to when he was younger, because you say that's the only thing I could do, and then we'd have to drag up his 135 record, which we've done already today. You know what I mean? When he was the offensive-minded Floyd. The young, hungry Floyd, before the pretty boy Floyd, before he became Money Mayweather. And what I'm trying to say to you is, when you've got a guy who's been boxing for 20 years, right? Almost.
Yeah.
All right. Or thereabouts, right? 20, if you include this year, 21 years, right? Okay. And let's not forget the amateurs, right? Just as a pro, 21 years, right? Unbeaten. And had two different types of careers. One where he was super offensive and one where he was super defensive.
Right.
Beating everybody thrown in front of him, most of which were champions or mandatories. I think everybody he fought at 147, other than Shamber Mitchell, was a champion.
Right.
Is that right?
Well, right. Yeah, well, I mean, they were all champions.
Yeah, they were all champions. They were all champions.
He's going to bring that up. But let me ask you this. How many of those guys? Well, Robert Guerrero was not a champion, so we got to take him out too. He was not a champion. Now, let me ask you this, though. Let me ask you this. How many of those guys at welterweight have more than 2 title defenses?
I have to. So he wasn't a champion. You're saying that he was an interim champion.
Well, he was an interim champion, but we know that.
Right. So what does interim champion make you?
It makes you mandatory to the real champion. Right, that's all it is.
So then he was a mandatory. So all right. So all right. Potato. One mandatory out of 11 fights at welterweight. Okay. All the rest were champions, right?
Yeah.
Remember, this is not including his exploits at super welterweight. Yeah, against the Alvarez, Cotto, and your man there, De La Hoya, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I just want to make that certain that you understand that, because also as well, you brought up another point there. I've been meaning to get on this. You said that Leonard took some years out, right?
Well, yeah, retirement.
That was after Hearns, though, wasn't it?
It was after the Bruce Fitch fight, and this is when he signed on to fight Aaron Pryor. Yeah,
right. And then he fought at middleweight, right? So we can disclude that.
Well, no, he actually had a comeback fight against what's his name, Kevin Howard. Yeah, he got knocked out in that fight, and he retired again and took another.
Yeah, at 154.
3 years off. Well, it was a catchweight. It was 149. So two weight classes above middleweight.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, above welterweight. I mean, my bad. 2 pounds above welterweight. So it was a catchweight.
So it wasn't a welterweight fight. It was a catchweight fight, right?
Yeah, it was a catchweight fight.
All right. So right. So we can't really include that then, can we?
Not necessarily. No. Right. I mean,
okay.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is though, I know the Aaron Pryor thing. I'm still getting heat for that video I made, man, a long time ago, and people just don't want to accept the truth. All right, I'm not gonna explain it. Yes. People gonna say that Aaron Pryor, he ducked Aaron Pryor. No, he did not.
No. Wait.
We're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that.
We are not gonna go there.
Yeah, we're gonna leave that alone. But no, he did not. Get out of here.
We won't go there. We won't go there. Right?
How do you duck Aaron Pryor?
No, we won't go there. We won't go there. He did.
No, he did not. No, please.
Yeah, he did. He did. And Hagler ducked Mike McCallum. Yes, they did.
Oh,
yes, they did. The sun don't shine out of their eyes. No, they did. They ducked. Man.
No. Hold on. I won't deny Hagler for ducking McCallum, but Aaron Pryor, no, that's bullcrap. He did not duck that fight. Aaron Pryor was. No, I'm gonna tell you the story behind this. Okay, you go.
I don't want to. No. Because you're moving the goalposts and we're going elsewhere. No, we'll do that another time. We'll do that.
But he did not duck that fight.
You say he didn't, and I say he did. Right?
Okay, let's leave it at that.
But the point is that I'm getting to, which you keep going around. After he beat Ricky Hatton, Floyd retired. Yeah.
Right.
And he came back and he beat Marquez. Yeah. Yes, he brought him up from whatever weight class it was. But he took 2 years out of the ring. He came back. So I think to say the discipline, from a discipline aspect, from a mental aspect, Floyd is a stronger-minded individual. More focused. He's never lost. Remember this as well.
Yeah, was he tested against a guy like Leonard? Was he tested against a guy like Leonard? Was he tested against a guy like Leonard?
Look, there's many guys who had high work rates, right?
Okay.
Because the only thing that I see, because you keep saying that, but I'm thinking to myself, well, really, he was a guy that used to flurry and use a lot of lateral movement, and them little pitty patter punches weren't really hurting. Leonard could punch, he could thump. Yeah, yes, he was good. He had a good chin as well, right? But really and truly, when you look at, and that's why I said, like, it's hard, because when you have to really think, man. When he fought Hearns the second time and Hagler, them fights were at middleweight. So if we're talking about 147, then you really are just talking about, and I'm going to go back to it. You talk about a Duran loss. Yeah. And a weight-drained Thomas Hearns. Okay. And then a Ugandan that he went up a weight class to fight and beat.
Yeah, very good fighter.
So so mentally, I would say, I'm gonna let the people that watch this decide, but I would honestly say mentally, a man that's unbeaten 20 years a pro, 5 different weight classes, regardless of how you look at it, with periods of inactivity, two in his career. Yeah, 4 years in total, or round about 4 years, 3.5, and a jail stint as well. You know, he's mentally the stronger guy.
Yeah.
You can't even dispute that, right?
Mentally
Also,
stronger.
then, yeah,
Okay.
mentally stronger. No, wait a second. I didn't say physically. I just said mentally stronger.
I understand.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. That's another thing for my reasoning for why I believe he'd beat him. Even if they fought 10 times, I don't see Ray Leonard beating him once, honestly. But
Okay.
I won't argue that. I'm just saying, if it was just on the night, a one-off championship fight, I just think mentally Floyd's got him beat already. Yeah. But saying that, hand speed, again, boy.
Leonard, Leonard got it, bro. You know he got it. Come on, Leonard got that answer.
Boy, I mean,
he got the power advantage too. You know that. Come on.
I don't know about that, man.
Oh man,
I don't know about that.
Okay, what's Leonard's knockout ratio at welterweight compared to Floyd? Tell me right now.
At welterweight.
Yes.
Or in his career. We have to talk about his career.
Oh, that's fine. His career. What's the knockout ratio between Ray Leonard and Floyd Mayweather? What's the knockout ratio?
It's like a 10% difference.
No, it's probably like 15. Yeah, about 10-15%. You're right. So Leonard has more.
Leonard's about 60. And it's about 65 or 60%, and probably Floyd's round about 50. I know he's got 27 knockouts in 50 fights, so it's 54% to maybe 64. Yeah, 63%. Right. Okay. So I was right. 11%.
Yeah. Well, you did say
you're looking at a guy who came up from 134.
Yeah.
For 135. Sorry, my bad. Up to 147. The guy who was naturally 147, who then went up to super middleweight.
Right. So that's about four weight classes. I know that 5th light heavyweight title, I really don't want to count that. I will agree with you on that.
Did he knock out Roberto Duran at super middleweight?
No, he didn't. He outpointed him.
Yeah, did he knock out Tommy Hearns?
He did in the first fight. He stopped him.
That was at welter.
Yeah, welterweight.
At super middle. Did he carry that great power, concussive power that you talk about?
He hurt Tommy Hearns in that fight. He hurt him pretty badly in that fight.
Who got knocked down in that fight?
Leonard got knocked down. Well, let me tell you something about those.
How many times? Wait a minute. How many times did Leonard get knocked down?
The second knockdown was legit, but the first knockdown, that was questionable because first of all, Tommy Hearns he tried to hit Ray Leonard with the right cross. Ray Leonard ducked that and he fell. He slipped. And the reason why he got credit, Hearns got credit the knockdown because Hearns is I think his hand or his glove touched the top of the head of Ray Leonard and he got credit for the knockdown.
Waved it as a knockdown.
Yeah, the ref called it the knockdown. I thought that was crazy. Yeah, he gave him a standing. Yeah, I thought that was bullshit. But anyways,
so he was not down. He was not down. It is what it is. We were both young then, right? We were both kids then, right? He got knocked down twice in that fight, right?
Yeah. Well,
he was beaten comprehensively in that fight. So okay, so he didn't knock out Hearns, right? So we can get over that. The Ugandan fighter, right? No, sorry, not the Ugandan. No, sorry. Let me flip. Sorry, Donnie Lalonde. Yeah?
Yes.
Did he concussively knock him out?
Yeah, he beat him up badly. He stopped him. He beat him up bad.
It was a technical knockout, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a technical knockout. Now DeLon gave him problems.
Down in that fight.
Yeah, Leonard was knocked down because what happened was he was bothered by the reach. Now I got to ask you about that because that's one thing I want to get to. Who did Floyd fight who had the longer reach than him?
I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna. We're not playing that game. We're not playing that silly game, man. We're not playing that game, man. I could be here all day. I could say the same thing about Leonard. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Leonard and what he done on the night.
Well, let's talk about the mental capacity. I want to respond to that.
Wait. 1 second. I'm just combing through. Right, because you was talking about power. We're talking about all the different strengths, right, and weaknesses or whatever. Who would negate what, right? Okay, we can argue all day. Okay, I'll give you that. Leonard possibly by 5%. Probably had a little bit more power, right?
Yeah.
But I'm saying this to you, right? I'm going to ask you a question, an honest question.
Yes,
How
sir.
many authentic knockouts? When I say authentic knockouts, I mean where a guy was counted out. Did Ray Leonard have?
What do you
Not
mean?
an accumulation. You see,
Talking about like not accumulation.
not not technical, not technical knockouts, TKOs.
Okay.
Actual knockout where he knocked the guy out and the guy was counted out to 10. How many of them has he got?
KOs. I mean, he had about. Let me think about it. He had about. Let me see. I think he had about over. I think about. Sure, not that many. He probably had about 5 of them. I can think of.
Probably about. I think I might give you that he might have even had 6.
Yeah, about 6 of. Yeah,
He
6 or
might
7.
maybe have 6. And I'll
Yeah.
be honest with you, right?
Yeah.
None of them were against. I mean, it was against Davy Boy Green was one of them. Your Messiah, Andy Price, your other Messiah.
Your Messiah is a Toro guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your Messiah.
And then the rest were,
Yeah,
and then the rest of his, then the rest of his KOs were early in his career against bums.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He had more KOs than Floyd.
Yeah, but the technical. You see, the thing is this, right? I have to again, and I'm not taking away, but we're here to debate this as well. This is why I kind of reject the whole Tom. When you was talking about the Tommy Hearns thing, you got to understand, right? 14.
Yeah.
It was in the 14th round. Yeah, Hearns was busting him up. The first sign of trouble that Hearns gets into, the referee comes in. Yes, he was tangled up in the ropes. Don't you think the referee could have given him a standing 8?
I thought the referee should have got him to stay in the end count, but at the same time, at the same time, I looked at Tommy Hearns. He wasn't really throwing anything back. He was very fatigued. He was tired. He was beaten up pretty. He was getting beaten up pretty badly.
I'll say this, right?
Tommy Hearns, but hold up. The thing is, Tommy Hearns didn't complain about the stoppage. That was one thing. He didn't complain about it.
Yeah, so Tommy Hearns was like that. Tommy Hearns was he was bland. He was just like that, man.
Yeah,
he was just a good guy. He didn't bother complain or moan. Even after when he beat Leonard and it was a draw and everybody was saying bullshit. I urge the listeners in the comment section.
I know, I saw that fight. I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that one.
He's just like, you know what, it is how it is. He's not there making excuses. Tommy Hearns was that. That's one thing I do rate about the guy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Yeah, I agree. But when you talk about mental capacity, let me get to that because I want to respond to that. Does Floyd have good mental capacity and strength? Absolutely. But he does not have that mental capacity and strength when he wants to take on stiffer competition. There's many videos and clips and interviews when he said this himself. I'm not in the sport to be taking risks. Forget all that. I want to keep my health safe as much as possible by taking the less risk and make the much money out of it. He did that.
Citation.
All right, there's an interview. Go on YouTube. There's many interviews. Type it up. He's not going on stage. Look at the R.A. Rugged. No, there's. I'm
not caring for the. No. We're not going to do that. If you can't citate it, it don't exist.
No, there's a citation. I'll give you the links to it. R.A. the Rugged Man interview with Ruju Andaliti on Shade 45 radio station back in 2009.
That's a rap. That's a rap. That's a hip hop. No. How dare you? How dare you bring up a hip hop radio show?
It was an interview, bro. Charlie. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it was a hip hop radio. It doesn't matter if it's the what. No. Charlie, you gotta listen to me, bro. Charlie, don't.
Wait. A second. No. Wait a second.
Charlie, let me finish, bro. It doesn't matter if it's a hip hop radio station. It doesn't matter if it's a news station. It doesn't matter if it's the Weather Channel station. He said this himself many times.
Sorry, Dan, man. Sorry, Dan.
He did have the mental strength against guys that he know he could beat. He didn't have that when he wanted to challenge himself. He did not have that. He said they didn't stop him, bro.
How dare you do that with that shade?
No, I know, man. It's the truth.
You're throwing shade now to try and boost yourself back up. No, we're not going to do that.
So let me get this straight. So you're going to discredit that interview that he said that himself?
No. Let me say this to you. Let me explain. Yeah, I am going to discredit it. Just to answer your question, I am, and I'll tell you why. Let me explain why. When you go on a rap radio show, right? Yeah. Rappers are in. Do you really think they break the law every day and sell keys of cocaine every day?
R.A. the Rugged Man is a name. He knows his boxing.
We're not talking about a good lyricist like Ra the Rugged Man. He's a legend. He's a good lyricist, right? I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the other type. No, look, they're in character, right? Most rappers are in character. They don't live that lifestyle, right? No matter how hard they look in the video, they do not live that lifestyle. They are in character. When he comes to a rap radio station, he's there, he's in character. He's Money Mayweather. He's this and that. He's gonna say stuff that's controversial. He's gonna say stuff like that. So I don't. If you said he said that on HBO, ESPN, or Showtime, I'll be like, okay. Now you need to show me the interview where he's on a sports.
Oh, so you gonna discredit that? Oh, get out of here!
Yes, I am gonna discredit that. That's you trying to pull that out of.
No,
nah, you're not gonna do that, man.
You ain't getting away with that, Charlie.
You're reaching.
No, I'm not reaching. You ain't getting away with that, bro. The interview is
mentally. Floyd's getting beat. Mentally,
doesn't matter if it's a Playboy magazine. An interview's an interview. Those are exact quotes. He said it himself. You can't dispute that, bro. I'm sorry. You ain't getting away with that, Charlie. you ain't getting away with that.
No way. Mentally, Floyd is stronger. He's stronger. It's hard to you know that. The whole mental aspect of the fight would have been won by Floyd. Okay, we broke down the power. There's just a slight bit of power.
Okay.
We know that he's not going to concussively knock Floyd out, and we know that Floyd's defense at 147 is immaculate, right?
Okay.
So the only way, the next thing we have to talk about is speed. Oh no, did we talk about that?
I'm sorry?
Did we talk about speed?
Yeah, we did talk about foot speed, did we not? I mean, Leonard.
No, we didn't talk about speed. We didn't talk about foot speed. Hand speed.
We did. We did talk about hand speed. So Leonard had the better hand speed. So
that's what you said.
No, he did. I looked at those fights. He did have better hand speed.
I reckon they got equal hand speed.
No, he had better hand speed.
Equal hand speed. When you flurry, you see the problem is, right? When you just flurry and you're just throwing wild hooks, because that's what Leonard used to do. Them little kiddie garden punches. And really and truly, when you look at his record, and like I said to you, he's only got 5 authentic KOs. Speed is power, or power is speed, whichever way you want to measure it up, right? Yeah. Okay, you understand that though, right?
I understand that.
Yeah. Okay. If I throw a bullet at you, it would just bounce off your chest. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. But if I put it in a gun and fire it, right? You understand that, right? Speed is power, but then again, power is speed because the hammer has to hit the bullet to discharge it, right? So I would say they're equal. If they're roughly equal on, I would give Leonard the power thing advantage, right? Okay. But the speed advantage is Floyd Mayweather. It's just because he flows the punches singularly, you know, and with more accuracy. It would appear that Leonard has the better speed because of the flurries that he's throwing. Well, if he had more authentic KOs, it's like, look, it's the same argument that I say when people bring up about I don't want to bring him into the argument, but when they talk about Chris Eubank Jr., right? When he throws them machine gun uppercuts and all of that, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yes, he throws 30 punches a second or whatever the case is, right? But you have to land.
Yeah.
You have to land, and you know, there's a whole heap of other factors. I think honestly, I would honestly say Floyd just by a small percentage, small margin, has the quicker hands. Because he's the guy that's come up from 135.
Well, you and I will disagree on that, but I will say this though. I will say this though. Leonard can be pretty awkward as well. He also threw punches in awkward angles. That's something I've never seen Floyd do. So, and he put power into that as well. And I will also say that he was not only just a puncher, but he was also a good boxer. Leonard also proved that he can fight very well off the back foot. So Floyd can do it too. So can Floyd do it too.
Yeah. We are not gonna go there. That's a redundant argument. No.
They're both equal there as far as being able to fight and put combinations together off the back foot.
I think their footwork is both equal.
Yeah, but you wanted to say that Leonard ran against Hagler. I would say that he ran against Carlos Hernandez. If you've seen that fight, he ran in that fight. So
how early was that in his career, though?
That was like in his 25th pro fight, 26.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ran in that fight. He was a champion too, so he ran in that fight. So I'm just saying. But anyway, so look, man, we got to wrap this up. This has
Yeah,
been
yeah.
a very long conversation.
You don't want to get. You don't want to
Yeah.
go further. But
Nah,
foot speed. So foot speed. We'd say that they're equal, right?
they were equal, but I will also say too, I forgot to mention that I think Leonard was better athletically too. He had better athleticism than Floyd, in my opinion.
I well, I'd say this.
Uh huh.
I'd say this. Once Floyd went up to he went up the weights naturally. He didn't go up the weights because he was ill disciplined. He went
Right.
up the weights because he was growing. His body was growing.
Yeah.
And once he found his forte at 147, he pretty much stayed there. And
Uh-huh.
he walked around about 2 pounds above the limit. Even in the catchweight fights, he was only 2 pounds above. And this is what I said to you: the mental strength, the discipline, those aspects for me, they go with Floyd. So
Okay.
I'll leave it there. I'll leave you on that one.
All right. Well, that's what we all going to agree to disagree, but we'll let the people in the comment section decide
That's right.
on that situation. But hey, man, great discussion. It got spirited, for some parts, but hey, we kept it respectful. We didn't need no moderator. We respect each other, even though we kind of cut each other off from time to time. It was
That's
civil,
right.
for the most part. We kept it respectful, so no insulting, no name calling. That's how the debate's supposed to be handled. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But hey, I enjoy all my commenters for listening into it. I'm gonna pop it up. Let me see who's been listening in. Let me see. God damn, so many of you guys been commenting. Eddie
Yeah.
Sasa, shout out to you. Kiwi Box, shout out to you, brother. CMD Renell Boxing Reports. If you guys don't know Renell Boxing Reports, please subscribe to his channel. Okuma Deceptive, shout out to you. Street Fighter Kuma, one of my favorite characters. Rock 89, shout out. Black Latin Caesar, Dick Justice, shout out to you. Rock 89, I did say Rock. Who else is in here? Red Fox was in here momentarily. K Black, shout out to K Black Boxing. As always, brother, thank you for the support. Mr. Doc, Io Bususi, and Rashid Sandata. Man, a lot of you guys. Champ Ross, Pittsburgh Brewer. I think I got one more here. Yeah, I think that's it. Tony Styles. All you guys, man. Thanks to you guys for listening in.
Thanks, you guys.
Yeah. So, yeah, I really think but hey, again, you guys can decide who you think won. Don't matter to me. If you guys think I won, cool. If you guys think I lost, that's cool. If you think Charlie won, great. If you think he lost, that's cool. That's up to you guys. And, it's all about respect. It's all about our opinions with facts at the same time. That's the way the debates should be handled. But other than that, thank you guys. Again, we'll be back next time. I'm out. Peace. Stay on, Charlie.
Peace.